Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. So turns out we had one more stream. I kind of thought it was Friday, but it was actually Thursday. So tomorrow is the Kingdom Hearts stream. My bad. But hey, more triangle strategy. I'm down for that. So last time we put up Travolt if we would do Sorsley's deals for him, or if we would try to how the the sevens about his illegal deeds. So now we're going to Heisen. So I did like two or three matches here, and I'm gonna show everyone's level and weapon upgrades since I don't remember what was before. Benedict got the bulwark. Hewitt got the creator blinding. So yeah, a majority of people are level 13. The only ones that are not are Julio, Medina, Ian's, and that's it. All the three of them are the only one not level 13. So we kind of rounded everyone back. Oh, 3 character stories. I did not see that. Okay, learning a little more about the characters. While working on the riverbank, Erodor recounts tales from his and Benedict's youth.
Once we have stacked those sandbags, we should be well fortified against even the fiercest deluge.
Right. Once we have stacked those sandbags.
Leave it to me. This old wolf has some vim in him yet.
Old wolf, after all, they were from Wolffort.
Phew. Haven't used some of those muscles since before I can remember.
I must say, when I saw the enormity of the task before us, I did not think we would finish in mere bells. I had braced myself for a full day of labor, at the very least.
But you guys got Erodor here.
Thank Benedict for that.
And Benedict,
Still
too.
searching for weaknesses in our perimeter. Had he
Yeah,
not been
Benedict's the brains and Erodor's the bronze.
Indeed. But let us not understate Eridor's feats of strength.
Come now, Eridor. How many times must I tell you to be delicate with the sandbags? We only have so many at hand.
I hear you, I hear you. I'll treat him as delicately as my lady love, in the absence of one.
Now is not the time for jests, Eridor.
If you don't want me complaining and you don't want me jesting, then I guess I'll just shut my mouth.
Yeah, I think that's what he wants.
To hear them trading barbs like children, you would never think they work so well together.
Well, they have a
Wisdom and
long
strength.
experience together.
two pillars that keep House
Yeah,
Wolffort
wisdom,
standing
strength.
strong.
Wisdom, eh? He wasn't always that way. Took him plenty of failing to get where he is now.
Well, try and error.
I find that difficult to believe.
Is there something you wish to share with us, Eridor?
Might be. Maybe you've forgotten the folly of 20 years past, but my mind is a steel trap.
We're gonna learn a little more. Benedict's fast, huh? Hey,
What's our task
Brody
today?
Taylor. You good?
We are to deliver this message to Lady Destra with all haste.
Seems simple enough. Send a bird.
I would not trust a bird in this rain. A horse would be more reliable and swifter besides.
Makes sense. Oh.
Is that so? I respectfully disagree, my friend. Either way, I'm not going to be the one nursing you back to health if you catch the chill.
I'm good. I'm very much.
Shall we
Yeah, hey,
put a wager
thanks for
then?
the follow.
Send a bird and
So
we
yeah,
shall see who reaches Lady
I'm
Destra
very much
first.
enjoying Triangle Strategy. Have you tried this game?
What? Benedict? Off he goes. Well then, where are those damned hawks?
So, oh. Is the stream fine?
As I recall, Benedict
was-
arrived at around the same time as the hawk. If it were a sunny day, he might have won.
Ah, the folly of youth. Many of our best days were spent in Lord Simon's service. We made many such wagers in an attempt to get into Lord Simon and Lady Destra's good graces.
Oh, Destra was the wife's name. I
remember when-
completely forget about that.
I believe we have had enough reminiscing for one day, Erador.
Don't be such a harsh
I wanna hear
taskmaster,
more.
Benedict. Where's the harm in a story?
Ask me that again when the floodwaters break through our meager fortifications. There is much to do and little time to do it. Wouldn't you agree, Anna?
Me?
Old friends or old enemies? Sometimes it is hard to tell with those two.
A bit of both. Like, friends always
Whatever the
take
case,
jabs at each
our
other.
work's done for the day. And there's nothing like a hard drink after hard labor.
And you always know how
You two
brains
here
and
to join
browns
me?
always clash.
I would love to. Please, regale me with more tales of your youth.
I see no harm in one drink.
Oh, you're
let's be off
watching
then.
from work. If you don't mind me asking, what do you work with?
Shall we invite Benedict along?
You'd only be wasting your breath.
He knows he won't go.
Now that you mention it, I do not believe I have ever seen you two sharing drinks.
Spirits cloud the mind, so I rarely drink. When I do partake, however, I prefer to do so in quiet. I fear Erador would only spoil that.
What? He is as quiet as a mouse. Oh, private military security contractor. So, is it all going well then? Let's see this other two. Yulia and Erador are on patrol when they come across a deplorable act in progress.
Please, you can't take
Yeah,
our wheat.
it's
We just
all-
had food the other day.
So chill.
Silence. Lord
Have you
Wolffort has
have
ordered the
you
requisition of
managed to give
all
this game a
prisoners.
try?
You wouldn't dare disobey your lord, would you?
Of course not. I just can't believe.
And who
Lord
are
Wolffort
you,
would
lady?
command such a thing.
Of course you
Are
wouldn't.
you accusing me, a noble woman of Glenbrook, of lying?
Yes.
How dare you, peasant?
Do you like strategy games?
Mayhap we should see what the commotion is about.
Mind telling us what's going on?
Well, if it isn't
Hot
Captain
red-handed,
Wolffort,
Missy.
Thank you for all that you do to keep these lands safe.
You're one of the lot what recently fled from the Crown City, ain't you?
Ah.
Just so, yes. I came to humbly lend what aid I could to Lord Wolffort.
Milsims?
Deliver on the
What?
provisions I promised.
What is your quarrel with these people? If you could explain the situation, we'd be more than happy.
Oh,
to
military
let you
simulation.
understand.
Please, I beg of you, don't take our food. It's all
What?
we have.
I
I've always known Lord
Don't
Wolffort to care for
think-
his people above all. Why would he do this to us?
what? What game would it be a military
What
simulator?
madness is this? Lord Serenoa has strictly forbidden commandeering food from the common folk. Surely you aren't asking these
I mean,
good
I guess
people
there
to
might be
release
some
their
out there.
stores to you in his name.
I am simply gathering
But I feel like
decisions
that's
on Lord
a slightly
Wolffort's
different
behalf, as I
genre.
promised. Honestly, he should be grateful.
Grateful?
Ugh.
He'd be red in the face if he saw what you were doing. Ain't no way he ordered it.
On the contrary, you are acting in violation of your Lord's decree. We cannot overlook your actions. You will come with us.
Ah,
and be
I
jailed.
see.
There you will await judgment.
Yeah,
for
I
your
think
crimes.
those are slightly different from just
Nonsense
tactical
is this?
strategy
I am a
games.
noblewoman of
Which I can
Wolffort.
see the similarity
How
there.
dare you try to order me about, you self-important little man? You've no authority over me.
But if I get to a battle, when I get to a battle, I'll
Sure we should accost her without seeking
show you
Sereno's
what I mean
counsel
by in
first?
this case.
We haven't that luxury. The longer she is allowed to roam free, the more the people will suffer, and our Lord's good name be sullied. We must show the people that unethical acts will not go unpunished. Take her away.
You will pay for your impudence.
Can't believe there are scoundrels out here using House Wolffort's name for ill gain. You've done us all proud today, Julio.
Professional airsoft.
Thank you ever so much, my lord. We'd be facing starvation if you hadn't stepped in.
She really had us fooled. We should have known Lord Wolffort is too kind a man to order anything like
Yeah.
that.
If you are ever troubled again, please seek me out. I shall ensure that any wrongs committed against you are set right.
I feel like those would be closer to the shooter genre. But there's also not video game ones, so Medina pledged herself to House Wolffort so that she could save people regardless of the order of things. However what? What happened? Oh, somebody from Heisen.
Goddess, if it isn't my savior, I am
Yeah.
truly in your debt.
Yeah,
I
with the
remember
professional airsoft, I
treated
kind
you
of
in
figured.
the ministry that day.
I feared it was the end, but thanks to you, I yet live.
I was not alone in treating you. And I am happy to see you well.
But
I hear tell the infirmary was overwhelmed that day. How fortunate the other man was a Rosellen.
I've been in planes.
Never
I
have felt
imagined
more
like
blessed.
the buildings, but I
Goddess's flock.
did not expect the planes.
Praise be the goddess. May her blessings rain upon you.
I do not mean to pry, but was that...
Oh, was that
Yes,
the last person
it
they
is he who
took care of?
survived, at the expense of the Rosella
Yeah.
man's life.
Okay.
Had we treated the Rosellan first, we might have saved them both.
I've been
I
in
could
prison.
not
Oh,
find the courage to disobey orders.
And in the eyes of the faithful, you acted in accordance with the goddess's teachings. Denying medical treatment to non-believers is certainly one way for the Holy One to breed loyalty amongst Hyzant's subjects.
Be that as it may, if only I'd had the courage of my convictions. The courage to give both their lives equal weight.
It is hard for one drop to alter the current.
So it is. Nevertheless, I wish to try.
so. Oh, gonna have to charge. Good for getting out some aggression. Oh, I can see that. Yeah. All kinds of abandoned places. Oh, I guess that gives all kinds of different environments without bothering with anything, so. Okay. Think we're good now? Cordero reflects. I did not read the rest.
So,
That's
I'm
a Flora with her, right?
what should I do?
1 second. Yeah, it's showing Queen of Glenbrook. The young queen who sits upon the throne of Glenbrook at Gustavo's behest. She is prepared to do what she must to protect the royal line as the sole survivor.
You should listen to the Archduke.
Yeah, that's
Is
the problem.
that all the Archduke wants? An obedient wife? And
Yes.
I thought the Aesfrosti valued freedom.
That's
So
only
long as you
from
respect
word
others,
of mouth.
You do not deserve freedom.
I like when you're allowed to get physical, smash people into burn church, throw grenades in corridor.
And only those with the
I
strength
see.
to see their will realized are deserving of it. It is not given, it is taken.
So
And it
you're
does not often
very
come
much a
easily.
physical activity kind of guy.
I see. Thank you.
Next time you think to ask that question, answer it yourself.
Yeah. Do people get hurt often, or
Look over me until I find the strength I require.
who's over there? Oh, those two.
What is Gustadolf thinking to marry a sniveling brat? No glory is worth her dismal company.
It is unacceptable. He should have let me deal with those obstinate boars in Glenbrook.
You. Sure. Taking 30. Yeah, I can imagine that.
Citadel of the Sands under the cover of night, and make their way to the Hysantian capital.
But like 30 rounds? Wow.
They press onward through the moonless dark, guided by naught but the faintly flickering light of hope.
Oh, the light of hope. Oh, exploration. In the dead of night, Cyrano and the others approach the Citadel Sands on their way to the capital. Something happens, and I noticed this. A report from one of his subordinates spurs Sorsley to take a new course of action. Did he figure out? Okay. Now I can imagine that. I was like, how did it reach the point of 30 rounds? But okay, automatic.
Wolffort means to betray me, you say?
Oh, yeah.
What leads you
They
to
figured it out. That was fast.
Sighting one of my vassals had of a suspicious woman, apparently poking around the path to the capital.
Oh, they
From
figured out
her
Anna?
description, there's no doubt she was none other than Anna of House
Yeah.
Wolffort.
Yep. They found
The woman
Anna.
who serves, incidentally, at Benedict's right hand.
She is his creature. I
His creature.
Then they mean to
I feel like
bring
there's a better way
evidence
to put it
against
than.
me.
The danger is too great to be ignored, Minister.
6,000 rounds per minute.
Trust you will
Wow.
take care of it before it becomes a
So that would be 100 rounds per second. No, yeah, 100 rounds per second. Wow. But yeah, looks like they figure out we're not going secretly. So we're probably gonna have to fight Sorsley.
Good. We haven't been followed.
Well, doesn't necessarily need to be followed.
No cause to relax just yet, milady. The moment you drop your guard is the moment the enemy's apt to strike. Ain't it, Benedict?
You're right, Erendor.
Indeed. This is where I would position soldiers for an ambush, were I to set a trap for us.
Aye. A hunter would have the upper hand here.
Yeah,
Let us
thinking
scout the area to
like
be
the
safe.
enemy. Okay, we're gonna scout the area. Most likely we're gonna have a battle in this area. I just need to see how the others fare and ensure we're not being too conspicuous. Conspicuous? Oh wow, look how the winding roads. Wait. How they... What? There we go. A lot of difference in altitude. In altitude. If the enemy has set a trap for us, it may have been my survey of alternative routes that alerted them to our presence. It sure was. I felt eyes on me multiple times. I prayed they were not the enemies. Any trap house ended sets a good opportunity to secure witness to the crime. We could not be sure they were. Perhaps it was someone sympathetic to our cause, as it were. Let's not be that optimistic. I know of no better spy than you. If the worst comes to pass, the order was mine, and I shall answer for it. Ooh. I like both the first and the last one. Hey Brody, what's your opinion on this? Should I answer any trap house ended sets a good opportunity to secure a witness to the crime? Or, I know of no better spy than you. If the worst comes to pass, the order was mine, and I shall answer for it. There's no point in putting yourself into the carriage, just choosing what's the closer. Okay. You're giving a very realistic answer. I was... Fine. Let's try to... I mean, a witness. There really isn't much of a witness here. Oh, I guess the... Yeah. Yeah, no, sure, because the people that he brings for the trap. He speaks truth. I should have thought of that myself. So we must not let him escape should it come to pass. Can I count on you, Anna? Realism makes everything more emotionally demanding, makes it worth the effort. Okay, fair. You have my word. Indeed, it is an error says. The enemy is apt to strike when we drop their guard. Spoken like true survivor of the Salt Iron War. Do not fear for me, Lord Sir Noah. I shall do my part when we reach Heisen. Oh, this is... I knew that, but okay. So this, there's just this little corner to turn. Takes a true veteran like Erder to see the signs of an ambush lying await. I am well impressed. Though I lack his experience, I swear to you that Prince Roland shall not fall under my watch. Speaking of which, where is... Oh, all the way at the top. Who would have thought of one of the Saintly Seven would be so bold as to illegally distribute salt? I'm sure Sorsley has been meticulous about hiding his misdeeds. He'll no doubt be equally observant to us. He is. To poison recovery. Sorsley will not hesitate to shed our blood. he finds out we are moving against him. It is fortunate that everyone's ready for battle, or I sense one will find us soon enough. Sure will. I pray we are not attacked, or trying to bring injustice to light, but should it come to that, then so be it. I will not back down. We've no choice but to report such a naked abuse of power. I don't like games where the player characters are Greek god and the names are 100-pound 13-year-olds on the local soccer team. Humans are pretty even. Doesn't matter who can do more push-up. Combat's unpredictable. Are you referring to a specific game there, or like I get what you mean, like even sides, since the outcome can go either way. But are you referring to something specific with the Greek god and the 13-year-olds on the local soccer team? This sneaking doesn't suit me. If I'm honest, I'd much rather take the fight to them. But worry not, I'll keep you safe, even if they try to ambush us. Do keep your voice down, Erthor. They will not ambush us so easily if they cannot hear us coming. How's the end attacks, they would hand us the chance to secure witness to the crime. All that matters is that Frederica will remain safe. Guard them for your life. I think you'll like this one. We need a witness. We need proof. And I'm guessing it's best if we capture this witness alive. I have trouble gauging my own strength, see? You needn't remind me, Erthor. I beg you to try, for the sake of House Wolffort. Anything for the house. I'll just leave a couple bruises on them. Most games that the character can fall off a building and do push-ups, or can heal from getting shot in the face. Pretty common. Yeah, okay. Wow. It's very intricate map. I like that. Heights, range, windstone. I have to go to specific spots to be able to climb around. But yeah, this is a very tricky map. Well, okay, I think we got it. We got the lay of the land. So, yeah, you're not a fan of games like Skyrim and GTA because of that power trip, basically, that they have. I should gather the others, because they found something by now. Perhaps they found something by now. And there we go. We're 14 and 2 character story. Oh, 2 new characters. An Aesfront merchant attempts to charm the locals into buying his wares.
How fortunate this humble merchant is to look
The merchant that from the barracks, from the encampment. Lionel.
Adorn your divine visages. Such honor, in fact, that he is willing to part with him for practically nothing at all.
We haven't even coined for salt, let alone vanity.
Mines are not but your ledgers. You peddlers disgust me.
Well met, brave protectors of the realm. Lionel has brought everything a hero needs and more. Every item has undergone meticulous testing to ensure that they will serve you well on the battlefield.
Out of our way, junkmonger. We've important duties to attend to.
Oh, people are certainly nice here.
How rude. Where are the smiles and open coin purses the people used to greet Lionel with? Oh, perhaps Lionel should take his goods elsewhere. War has made this place disagreeable.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe the war that Gustave started.
It is the perfect opportunity for the shrewd trader to amass his fortune. And Lionel is shrewd, if nothing else.
a character who can rival God. So like JRPGs are off the table. This many of them at the end, the characters basically going against God or something like that.
Yes, let him come forth.
Or because like at the end of the game and everything it went through, that's more acceptable.
That he can count House Wolffort among his loyal patrons has ever been a source of pride.
Yes, right. What brings you before me today?
As my lord is doubtless already aware, war places a heavy burden on the treasury. A burden that only grows heavier as time drags on. However, a skilled negotiator can see his coffers even fuller at war's end than they were at its beginning. If he may be so bold, Lionel would offer his services in that very capacity.
At the end of the game, you want your character complaining about knee and back pain?
Between two ravenous wolves.
That would be funny.
In such times, one can never have enough coin and resources to stave off what may come. Surely you agree?
Your words have merit, and you have always been honest in your dealings with my house. I see no reason not to welcome you into our ranks.
Splendid! You are as wise as they say. Wiser, even.
Just putting on that sugar.
Just the opposite, in fact. From this day until his very last, he shall stake his honor on the prosperity of your house.
Or so he says.
And if his own coin purse should grow fat in the process, who could blame him?
So what does he do exactly? The merchant. Tries with foes using his elite eloquence. Can infuriate foes or tempt them into defecting. Whoa. Collect an extra bit of coin along with the spoils. So every spoil gives you some money as well. When he collects it, I presume. And we also have Shamaness happens upon a village and uses her power over the weather to bring succor to those suffering from drought.
The sun's a harsh mistress, ain't she? If she sticks around much longer, my fields are apt to wither from the attention.
I want him to be a power pleasure that locals who can't afford rent.
Aye. And it ain't just the crops what are worse for wear. I'd cry over our lot, but naught but dust would pour from my eyes.
That is a very different kind of game.
How pitiless, the caprices of nature. What grudge do the heavens bear to make the poor
Very interesting take you have there.
I would be remiss to let such suffering continue. If fate will show you no mercy, then I shall. You beg for even a
Shamaness.
single drop of rain. I shall give you more. Behold as I flood this desiccated land with nourishment.
Huh? What's that the lady said? I believe she means to pull rain from a cloudless sky.
Ha! I'd have more luck getting milk from a bull.
I mean, are you guys gonna let her try, or?
Tell me if you do. We're in sore need of a miracle.
A pleasure as always to see you, Lord. You've come just in time. This lass is about to put on a show.
I am called Dizana. Allow me to banish the sun's cruel rays from your domain, that your people may see a measure of succor.
Banish the sun? I wasn't aware it was in the habit of taking orders.
I'm very curious. What, like, can you tell me what would be one of your favorite games if you have any? And there we go.
Will slap my ass
Yeah.
like I was just born. Rain! Honest to goodness, rain!
What an expression.
How did... I've never witnessed a miracle like this.
It's not miracle, it's magic. Which is pretty close.
Zana, was it?
It's Zana.
On behalf of my people, allow me to express to you my deepest gratitude.
There is no need for such formalities. I seek only to alleviate the suffering of the downtrodden in any way I can.
Izana Kilinka, a woman descended from a long line of shamans with the ability to change the weather. She wanders the land in search of people who might need her power, that she may provide them succor.
If it is not too bold of me to ask, do you have need of a humble shaman within your ranks?
That would certainly be an interesting addition.
Have reached even my remote village. It would be an honor to serve you, my lord.
We would welcome you with open arms, and the honor would be entirely ours.
Now, she can change the weather. What exactly does that affect in the battle? Because that would mess with Frederica's passive. Shamaness with the weather her way. Excels at wind and lightning. Summons rainstorms and tempests during the tide of battle. "20-year-old A3 who took too much caffeine. If gets shut up sad. Arma, okay. Let me just look at the new characters. What level are they? They're level 12. So joining our other one. So let's see, what do they have? Staff. Rite of Lightning. Does lightning damage to an enemy and have a chance to paralyze them. Effects spread on water. Rite of Wind. Deals wind magic damage to all enemies within range. And change the direction they face. Cursed Strike. Decrease an enemy's luck for 3 turns if you deal damage them. Decreasing their luck. What a curious effect. What about you, Lionel? He has a whip. His charm lowers an enemy physical defense and magical defense. In front of him, ruffle feathers. Chance to infuriate a single enemy. Lucky find. Obtain money when picking up spoils. And yeah, he has a lot of physical defense. 16, 13, 14. Okay, no, Eredor still beats everyone by a mile. 21. The others here have 16 and 15. I'm surprised. 20? Benedict, since when have you been so tank? 14, magical defense. Like... Okay, never mind. He's not as tanky as I thought he was. Like, there were some pretty bulky people out there as well. They both move like mages. 2-4. Well, I guess a wordsmith, shaman. I guess shield bearer also moves like that. 2-4, yeah. So maybe he's kind of like a tank. I'll have to give them a try another time. The party keeps a watchful eye on their surroundings, but finds it strange when not even stray footprints seen. We're in enemy territory. Of course they're gonna find their best way to get to us.
Have you found anything?
No, my lord. Only our own footprints.
Strange.
Few travel this path, but it is still traveled.
Someone must have covered their tracks.
And there they are. Coming from above. And
Well, if
Booker,
it isn't House
sorry.
Wolffort's motley crew. Imagine my surprise at finding you here. Whatever are you doing?
We were merely on our way to...
No need for pretense, my lord. Not when his life is forfeit for having discovered us.
I think you have it the wrong way around. Die.
Okay, so we're gonna hutchify a lot of soldiers. And we're the one at the bottom of the hill. So we can have 10. Shield bearers, a bow, 2 bows, 3 blades. And there's Booker. Sorry, level 60. Scorpion state with the physical damage. He has act again, just like Anna. Move and use move. He can move twice. Oh yeah, hers like act twice. Assail deflected. Increase damage without items inflict with status aim. Resist sleep, immobility and fury. Resist temptation, instant death. That he can still be paralyzed and blinded. What else? Poison. 2. Charge TP. Just gain 1 TP for free. Control poison. Yeah, he's just like it. Just basically like a better Anna. That's a healer right there. 2 bowmen, 3 blades. Okay, so let's change our team because we're not with the team for this right now. So let's Frederica, Erdor recommended, Eoet's recommended, Ian's recommended, but I'm not really down for that. Probably some mages. Anna, Gila. We have 2 more slots. Benedict and Roland, sure.
The honor is mine.
We're just taking the classic team and Narv and Quarantine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go with that. Now we just need to organize everyone here. The mages are probably gonna stay on that side because there are 2 shield bearers here. Which means we're gonna have to go around. Where's Benedict? Yeah, let's let these 4 go around. Yeah, let's go with something like this. So yeah, they're gonna have a lot of height advantage. The Battle of Booker's Brigade.
You'll have to be cleverer than that to outwit me. Here, this is what you get for trying to make fools out of us.
We must put an end to this. Take them all down.
There is no mercy on the battlefield.
What is he gonna buff? Sure, let's buff Frederica.
Thank you.
And then start going around. Are you gonna stay still?
For my lord.
I
will end this. Into the shadows.
Yep. Oh, she leveled up. Level 14. And we're gonna stay here.
My turn.
Roland's gonna get a move on. The shield bearers are probably gonna start coming down. Oh, oh, and they have defense buffs. Okay, yeah, he is coming down.
Here I come.
Now, like, I could put Yoette up here, but she would be so much danger. What can she attack? Not there. Yeah, right now. With all those blades up there, it's kind of hard for her to come in.
Watch out for the archers up there.
Yeah, that's...
Them taking the high ground puts us at a bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Serenoa, we must do something. If we stop moving for even a second, they'll have us.
There's nowhere to run once it starts raining arrows.
Well, then we might as well take care of the arrows.
And where shall we strike?
Look at that. That is a big no-no. That's a 4 height. How high can you jump? 2. So you have to go this way. Joker can reach all the way over here. Not favorable. He's gonna tighten defense and move up. Oh no, he didn't move up. He has wall jump.
I'll take you on.
I did not want him to be left flanking us, so. Let's try to provoke. 2/3 of a chance.
Come and get me.
There we go. Got both of them.
I love the battlefield.
And he's level 14 as well.
I'll show you what I can do. The fruits of my studies.
And they're coming down. Oh. Can Drila go already, or? Hello.
Impressed?
We've been weakened.
Okay, yeah. Now she can move. Oh.
Your wounds are healed.
I mean, if the blades are coming down, then... Look at that. She's already low again. And they're targeting the healer. Like, they know what they're doing.
I fight for peace.
Time for some research.
Well, let's take care of that one. No, we did not want to be in Booker's range.
Nice try.
Good. What? But what's he in range? Let's increase Gila's defense.
Every defense has a weakness.
Good. No, no.
Every defense has a weakness.
And he's already in here.
Looks like I shall have to kill you myself.
You don't have to.
Victory is within reach. Yeah. Sound strike.
Charge.
This is it.
I always forget opportunity attacks.
The hunt is on. Darkness engulfs you.
At least one arrow down. Oh.
For the honor of House Wolffort.
Okay, I think he's fine for now. Actually, I can take care of this. There we go.
We win.
There we go. One archer left. Yeah. And they're still going after my healer. Oh my god, she has such low HP. Oh, good dodge, good dodge. She might have been gone if she hadn't dodged that.
I hope you're watching, Grandfather. It's not over yet.
That's the stuff. Come at me.
I think that's the best I can do at the moment.
We mustn't lose heart.
She just have to keep healing herself. This one's blind. We shouldn't have to worry about him. Oh, quarantine. Okay, a lot of burning ground.
I'll be fine.
You sure? You certainly don't seem fine. Large recovery pallet.
For my lord.
Like, Booker's such a troublesome one.
Every
Good dodge.
There is no mercy on the battlefield.
What have we here?
Time to work.
Ha! Victory is within reach. Ha! Victory is within reach.
Charge! You don't stand a chance.
Follow my lead.
There you go.
For the future of House Wolffort.
Oh, interesting.
Time to take flight.
She was actually able to control and get out of there. 81%.
No mercy from us.
He dodged.
Forward. Death from above.
And that guy's coming up. Yeah.
Time for some sorcery.
Should I use one of these? Move. Let's see. Critical blow, light wave, restore, movement out. No, these are not gonna help right now. Let's use a poison pellet on Erther so that he is not affected by the poison when his turn comes around. What's the difference in height here? 4. You can go up to 3, right? Yeah. Okay, but here he can't be attacked by the archer, so... As much as it sucks... Oh, him again. Yeah, he can totally kill somebody. Like farm. Like everyone's low HP. Sheila, they're needing you up there ASAP.
Thank you.
Maybe I should have sent her up and Varn go down.
Almost.
Quarantine can't even fight. He keeps having to heal. Speaking of having to heal.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
I fight for peace.
Like, I'm just spending my time healing everyone.
For you.
The tides are turning.
For a better world.
Wouldn't mind a potion.
Back at you.
I shall try my level best. All for victory.
Splendid.
I will end this.
Oh, okay. I don't think she'll be able to defeat him. Yeah, no. And I realized the Hooker can reach her up there, but then again, Wart can't hit reach.
Yeah! Yes! I shirk from no danger.
Here I come.
Conjure accuracy 80. Wait,
Darkness engulfs you.
it was the wrong guy.
This battle is won.
I mentioned doing the other one.
What would Father do?
Like Cyrano hasn't been able to fight yet. He has just been healing.
I need this.
Quarantine as well. Like they're just soaking up damage, really.
My lord, the pain will end soon. For my lord.
He's really want to take out Narv.
Help me, please. Just hold on, everyone.
That's the stuff.
Allow me.
Like everyone's dying.
Two ashes.
Where was
I hate that none of them are gonna die from this.
Come on! To further the arcane arts. I've been waiting for this.
Recover an ally's HP. Let's do that on Narv. So that he can survive. For Earth's time, use a Quietus.
I shall do what I can.
From here, what can she cannot reach Federico Narv? Wait. I just remembered. He wet up here. I have to go over here to be able to reach you.
Allow me.
You're not gonna go down.
I appreciate it.
He still hit it.
Impressed?
That's fine.
To lead, I must grow.
Are you gonna go to the fire? Oh, no. He took the spoils.
This is the end.
She's a level 15.
This is the end.
Like, Anna is always gonna be ahead of the pack.
Already.
Let us pry out their weakness.
Actually, instead of blocking there.
Let us steel our defenses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My turn.
Oh, she's in pain.
You don't stand a chance. Yes.
Me next.
For my lord. Every defense has a weakness.
Okay, good thing okay, you're back out.
This
Good.
battle is ours.
You're blind. You're not.
You'll get no mercy from us.
There we go. Okay,
pride is my shield.
Huette's job's just to keep this two occupied. That's all there is. Mm. Yeah. Nice crit. Yeah, kind of expected that.
I have to keep going.
What have we here?
I'll make you proud, grandfather.
Okay. Here it's safe.
Almost.
I've been waiting for this. Time to die!
No, I'm not gonna let him pass by here.
Allow me.
Just gonna do a normal attack. 2 damage. Not a lot. It's not much, but it's honest work. Can we silence him? Nope.
They're good.
I think you need to heal yourself first, Sheila.
My growth is plain to see.
Not a chance.
I can still move.
It's over.
Just heal yourself up.
Impossible. The numbers are on our side.
Not anymore, sir.
That may be, but sheer numbers will not defeat us.
That is also true. Quality, not quantity.
Who dares sully House N's good name? This is only temporary. The pain will end soon. This is not good.
I shall try my level best.
Like, here.
Let us reverse our fortunes.
My turn.
Cannot reach him. Oh, but I can go all the way here. Really? He's gonna survive Shu?
Take that.
Yes. My turn.
Good try, Frederica. Good try.
For the honor of House Wolffort. Wait your turn.
Wait your turn.
Here I come. You'll get no mercy from us.
And blind? Just keeping them busy.
What should I do?
over yet. You have my gratitude.
Good heal, good heal.
I've been waiting for this.
Kind of wanted to be where Frederica is, but... Oh, get the spoil then.
Allow me.
Oh, there we go. We took care of Booker.
Stay right there.
No. I failed to stop them. I failed House N.
There we go. Now we got 2 blades. No, 1 blade, 2 archers, and 1 healer.
Time for some research.
I shall do what I can.
Oh, no, not that far.
Allow me. Thank you.
I shall try my level best. This should do.
Much appreciated.
Are we gonna come back in?
I won't lose.
Let's push him.
Away with you! Did you see that? For the honor of House Wolffort. Parry. That hit the mark. Over here.
Good job, Quarantine.
Here I come.
Okay. 3 turns, 2 turns. Oh, I thought he was turned the other way. I could have done a back strike.
My turn.
Yeah, let's do this because why not?
Into the shadows.
I'll show you what I can do.
Is there anyone that's not level 14?
I've been waiting for this.
Oops. Let me check out. I mean, Anna's level 50, which is not 14, but everyone else reached level 14.
Look to my shield.
Oh, good job, Erler, for tanking all that.
So, it falls to me.
And Narv and Frederica also share the tanking, so thank you for the both of you.
I see through you.
Are you gonna silence him? You are. Okay, now he's useless.
Let me show you what I've learned.
A healer that can't heal.
Let me heal your wounds. Allow me.
You have my thanks.
Gila did not leave this valley.
Not a chance.
There is no mercy on the battlefield.
Merlin, go help you out.
I shall do my best. Charge.
When I said go help her out, I did not expect you to reach there this turn.
My lance strikes true.
I keep forget about the opportunity attack. I could have just done a normal lance attack.
Follow my lead.
Here I come.
Okay, so what spoils do we have? That one. And this one.
Darkness engulfs you.
If only could be where Benedict is. Why? Just passing time, getting some small XP.
Here I come.
Because we all know she really needs that, right? Can he reach there? No, he cannot. Okay.
Just hold on, everyone. I fight for peace.
There we go.
I've been waiting for this.
No, out of curiosity. Increase the chance of any dropping. Okay. I was wondering, like, does he have to pick it up to get better drops or something? But no. Just when he defeats it, enemies have a higher chance of dropping spoils.
Time for some research.
Now you're the one surrounded.
Let me heal your wounds.
Guess that's... No. Can I... reach Hewitt? Oh, Roland also needs it.
Be at ease.
Thank you. I won't lose. Take that.
Was not enough for opportunity attack.
I see a path to victory.
Sure.
This should do.
That'll do.
This'll do. That'll do. Yeah. They're very much in sync.
Time to take flight.
Actually.
Victory is ours.
Thermount got me up there.
Come get me.
Oh wow, in one jump.
Allow me. For the good of all.
Splendid.
Here I come.
Time for some research.
Wow, you missed. Oh.
You won't beat me.
I mean, might as well use the sprint.
Show me what
Just
you
taking care of this one archer is taking a good amount of time.
Shall we begin?
Your wounds are healed. I appreciate it.
Charge.
encampment over here.
Out of my way!
There we go. Ooh, almost a level up. There we go. 39 kudos. And a metal bravery. And a crystal. Oh, we're definitely going back to an encampment. Like, we gotta restock, we gotta promote somebody. We gotta upgrade a weapon.
Have mercy.
Oh, you're a witness.
Victory is ours. Surely we needn't shed yet more blood.
We cannot spare him, my lady. Not when he knows what we intend to do.
He was complicit in the salt fraud, was he not? Perhaps he might agree to bear witness for us.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. Whatever you wish.
He's gonna sell out Sorsley like that?
Then let us attempt it.
Fools!
Yeah, he's like Anna, like very slippery. Speaking of Anna, she out-assassined him. They did give him a chance.
You certainly took your time, Anna.
No more than was necessary.
No, it was fine.
Unfortunate. We'll have to find another witness.
His lips may have been sealed, but it's only a matter of time until this betrayal is discovered.
We must prove our case before that happens.
I feel like the betrayer has already been discovered if he came after us.
After surviving an ambush at the hands of Sorsley's retainer Booker, Serenoa and his retinue arrive at the Byzantian capital.
May we speak it with Exarn? Oh. There we go. Oh, we're speaking with Consul. Domestic affairs.
Thank you for bringing
Makes
this matter
sense.
to my attention. That said, salt makes for poor evidence. There's simply no way of telling legitimate goods apart from illicit ones.
Surely, as Minister of Domestic Affairs, rumor of Sorsley's illegal salt trade has reached you.
Rumor, yes, but nothing more.
That's
From foreign sources.
sadly.
yes. I cannot help wondering if these rumors are more intended to drive a wedge between us and Sorsley.
Especially in
Doing so,
international
our land
rumors.
into chaos. Not
Yeah.
that I would question the honorable intentions of House Wolffort, of course.
I understand you
It's
have
just that-
good reason to doubt in your position.
Yeah,
Mr.
need
Counsel.
more solid proof.
But weeding out corruption is a duty that falls to House Farrant. If you
Council,
find anything
council
else,
parents,
pray,
right? Yeah.
Inform me at once.
Of course.
So, he wants us to bring him further evidence before agreeing to aid us.
Which makes sense.
Even one of the Saintly Seven can only act upon the surest foundation, it seems.
Yeah, they don't want to cause internal strife for no reason. Which I totally agree. It's fair. The desert's end. There we go. Completed chapter 9. Or part 3. Is there a part 4?
House Wolffort, eager to report House N's illicit dealings to Hyzant. rebuffs an attack from Booker, Sorsley's loyal assistant, and gains entry to the city. Alas, Kamsel, one of the Saintly Seven, informs them that charges cannot be brought without hard evidence of Sorsley's misdeeds.
Chapter 10, Part 1, In the Shadows of Suspicion. And Part 10 is directly affected by Part 9. It's not back to the main line. So yeah, now we're completely in a separate route.
I see the salt matter is being addressed.
Exactly as you predicted, no less. I never expected House Wolffort to so much as entertain the idea.
Oh, so they expected.
Wolfforts are formidable, always striving to do the right thing. Which is also what makes them so easy to manage.
What are you scheming now?
Come on, XR.
Scheming? You make it sound so scandalous. All I do for our beloved Hyzant.
Doesn't make it any less scheming.
Do not play the fool. I know Minister Edor has taken notice of you. You would do well not to let it go to your head. I certainly cannot bring myself to admire the man.
Oh, why ever not?
'Tis not worth going into detail. Suffice to say, I would not mourn him should some grave impropriety come to light.
Not
Then
make
for
any
now,
inferences or
gleefully
anything.
await the Wolffort's next move.
So yeah, basically since they can't move without solid evidence, they're basically using us to take care of this problem. Character story. Eredor invites Quarantine to take a break from all his research. Which reminds me, we still need to go back to the encampment.
Working hard again today, I see.
Working hard or
Where's the
hardly
research?
working? Ha ha.
It progresses, and shall continue to do so, provided you remain out of my way.
Very
Never
subtle.
one to mince words, are you? What is it you're researching exactly?
Your questioning remains distressingly
Arcane magic, I
As
presume.
I explained just yesterday, I'm exploring something truly groundbreaking.
That does not answer
I'm
anything.
asking you precisely how and why it's groundbreaking.
Thank you, Eredor.
That would entail a thorough explanation of surface melting on ice crystals, one even you could understand. From there, I would have to explain how the quasi-liquid film on said crystal can then be thermodynamically stabilized.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Well,
starting to get more scientifically area
I can
there.
tell by your attitude all this work isn't good for you. You should join me for a swig of wine.
I'd rather not.
And why not?
Research has shown that wine inhibits the brain's higher functions.
Yeah,
Fewer
just
words,
like Benedict.
more wine.
Few
Last
words,
Mike, you
more
really got an
wine.
idea out of that massive head of yours.
But my precious research!
Looks like Eredor convinced him, one way or another.
All I desire is to carry out my research without interruption. Are you listening, Eredor?
Without interruption.
My research on my terms. Why can they not grant me this one thing?
Yeah, well...
This cannot stand.
Just
Eredor.
hides its.
You hold me out.
That's very strict of that.
Yet you haven't so much as drank. Haven't touched
Oh,
your
really,
glass.
Eredor? You haven't drank anything yet, huh?
So you're an angry drunkard, are you? Lovely.
Hey, you're the one that got him here.
Me? A drunkard? Balderdash.
For
It's the
Balderdash.
damn ministry. All the restrictions and secrecy. How are we to
The writing there.
move forward if we can't share our techniques? Am I wrong?
You're damned right. As always, of course, about everything.
Sin on all that knowledge and skills is not good. Worse than me locking myself up here.
And he's down.
Glorious.
Fell asleep.
Thought the poor fool would never show.
Hey, you're the one that got him talking.
bed with you.
Drinking wine and everything. But at least he took a break on his he took a break from his research, for better or worse. Let's go to the encampment first. So who should we upgrade? Because trade post we cannot. We can get a point. So what do we have here? Battle cry. I was actually needing battle cry back there, so yeah. Let's get battle cry. Now, who should we give this to? Benedict, Sheila, Anna, Duet, Erador, Quarantine. We can look at the initial TP. 2-fold turn. Sounds pretty good. Heal what ails you. Heals his status ailment. That's good, but I feel like the healing is still more important. Remain and recover. Recover HP when not moving or using commands in your turn. So when you pass your turn, you recover HP. Depending on the HP, that can be pretty good. A rise in range. Increase the range of the first normal attack used after battle begins by 2. Oh, the first normal attack. Not that great because, like, it's one attack. Physical counter on though. That seems very useful. Icy Tomb deals ice damage to all enemies standing on icy square within range. Ah, you use like Icy Breath to make icy squares and then just Icy Tomb to make the ice on the floor go to them. 107 power. Yeah, I feel like the most useful one is Erador's, the counter. It does not increase his defense, only his DP and HP. A shame, but yeah, the counter is gonna be so good. It's already good enough on Theranova. Imagine on Erador, which takes a bunch of hits. Oh no, I already did this. We can give him the most. I assure you that you will not regret allowing Lionel to your ranks. He promised to repay your kindness with interest. Lionel selected especially grand today. Please have a look. What do you have so special for today? I'm definitely gonna stack up on these. Oh, that's all he has. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need more large HP recoveries. And I just realized that because that one I have been using a lot of HP recoveries pellets, Medina would actually have been helpful because she can toss to people and he heals more. Weapon upgrades. So Gila and Narv can upgrade. Let's see. Gila can upgrade this, which is going to increase her healing. Not really sure what these are. More jump. Oh my god, a lot of upgrades here. Oh, because of the first level. Oh, his increase spark or wind. I'm definitely curious on giving them a try. I mean, I feel like Julie's such a staple that we'll probably need to upgrade her. Let's see what we unlocked. Magic attack, which Affect the ratio of haste or increase the effect of haste. Oh, that's interesting. Do you want it to last longer or be faster? Increase jump. So there are okay upgrades, not too great, but yeah, I feel like this one's the best one there. As for the others, we can upgrade their force. Noah, let's upgrade his luck. Now only in new Azana, we can upgrade wind during a rainstorm, during a tempest. Just damage in general. I feel like these two. Oh, we can still upgrade. No, I'm gonna save that up for the others. So I can at least have like 2 upgrades for each one. Okay. That's all we got here. Let's continue. Within the Citadel of the Sands, Tenebris finds Sorsley high spirits. Tenebris, sorry.
Well,
Is that Tenebris?
Tenebris.
It is.
Gloomy as ever, I see.
I want to check out who that is.
Mr. Sorsley, I see you are in high spirits.
Wait, his voice. It's the same voice as Zhong Li, isn't it? The Saintly Seven, Vice Minister of Religion. One of the Saintly Seven and Keeper of the Teaching History.
And why shouldn't I be?
Look,
House
here,
Wolffort
or rather,
is
hear it
burying
out.
my salt as we speak. An illustrious house from the Salt Iron War trying to win my favor. It's laughable.
But can they succeed, being as ignorant to the circumstances as they are?
Okay, he's putting out
I simply lay the
an
blame
accent.
upon them and see their house duly punished. I shall gain merit in place of money.
I did not take you for an optimist. Or have you forgotten of Exham and Camsel's suspicions?
You speak as if it were my problem alone, my dear Tenebris.
So yeah, Tenebris is working alongside him.
Understand? It is because we are tarred with the same brush that I have come to warn you. Your dealings of late have grown perhaps overly so. You would make an enemy of the other saints, should they notice.
So there are gonna be a strife between the saints. Sorsley and Tenebris on one side, X-Arm and Kenso on the other. And I don't know about what the others think about this.
Good. Now leave me.
Pray, be careful, Minister.
Such a shame that Zhong Li is not a very
What need have I for caution?
nice person
I
here.
have never failed, nor will I ever.
Zhong Li. Yeah. There are no search for evidence to indirect Sorsley, but will we find it in time? Indict Sorsley. I was like, indirect? That doesn't sound right. Because it wasn't.
Sorsley may well come to end us once he hears of our allegations. There is no turning back now. We must move swiftly.
So how shall we proceed?
We must provide hard evidence, as Minister Camsel requested.
And I wish to be named Archduke of Aesfront. Does he understand what he asks of us? We have no leads.
Salt is a well-regulated commodity, and numbers do not lie. If this illicit trade exists, someone will have altered the ledgers.
Of course. We'll gather what information we can on Sorsley until the evidence we seek reveals itself. Let us canvass the town and see what we find.
Agreed. We should split up and search for clues.
We should split up and search for clues. Okay. Scooby Screw. I forgot what word the name. I mean, the character's name I remember. I forgot what was the group name. There's the Mystery Machine, but I don't remember what's the group name. Time to gather some testimonies as to Sorsley's crime. Sleep recovery. Oh, I should... No, I have a bit of poison. Recovery palette. What? Oh, there we go. Follow timber. I'm afraid I'm closed for the day. Need to balance the ledger, you see. Speaking of ledger, I'm also looking for a ledger. Oh? Can I go this way? No? Okay, never mind. Not now, I have more pressing concern in the present. A rebel. That damn officer hunting me like a dog. If he would but leave this place, I could return to my home. This all hearsay, but I understand Aesfront occupies Glenbrook. The kingdom is a den of iniquity, it's true. Their lack of adherence to the goddess' teaching has no doubt brought this fate upon them. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Oh, Claris, the merchant. Illegal distrib... Where's all this talk coming from? I will not stand for these absurd accusations. What proof do you have of you? Can I go back? Well, when you do as much business as I do, rumors about oneself tend to propagate. Would behoove you to interrogate the rumors you hear before repeating them. Yes, but it would also be best not to let sleeping rumors lie. Keep digging, and keep me apprised of any new information you may find. I'm eager to be of service. Oh, maybe he's not on their side. So if I find any group, I can come talk to him. Got it. The Saintly Seven have been recognized by the goddess of Salt herself, and are tasked with leading the faithful Heisen. Atop this order sits the Holy One, who enjoys the privilege of hearing the goddess speak in her own words. The Holy One then disseminates her words to the Saintly Seven, who hand them down to the people, thus granting the Holy State her blessings. I, of course, take pride in the uniquely superior construction of our society. But how do you, as an outsider, find it? It has advantage and disadvantage like any other. I hesitate to call it superior. Not so unusual, the Holy One is your sovereign, and Saintly Seven their loyal minister. System of rules are not so easily compared. They are the results of choices made by people over the arc of their shared history. I mean, I do agree that it has advantages and disadvantages, like any system. Sure. You have my attention, good sir. Do tell us what precisely you find lacking. Take, for example, the Holy One. A singular, exalted presence with no line of succession as you find in other nations. Does this not cause strife among the remaining members of the Seven, as each and every one vies to be chosen to succeed them? Your fears are misplaced, sir. Yes, there was a period of confusion some 30 years prior when the Holy One passed. I cannot deny it. But the goddess soon eased our suffering, and trouble has now visited us since. The saintly oh my god, I butchered that. The Saintly Seven share the burden and work tirelessly for the good of the people, obviating the need for any messy struggles. Yes, so your dogma tells us. Though I think you find this does not account for human nature, which is not so easily controlled. Hello, Lila. I learned that my secretary was investigating Mr. Sorsley as well. Surely he left some notes in his journal. You have my blessing to read it if you find it. The goddess tolerates much in the search for the truth. I'm guessing they're inside the Ministry of Medicine. Midness X-Arm stopped by for the moment. If you have business with him, I bid you write him a letter. A letter. That presumes I have something to write with. Only those with special permission may enter the palace. Take or leave. I cannot let you pass without proper permission. Oops, sorry. I care not who you are or from what nation you hail. None may enter the source. If you're not here to enter the source, then it shall hear you out. What is it you wish to know? That only makes me long to enter the source all the more. Is there truly nothing you can do? Why guard the entrance so closely? Is there something you wish to hide? I hear tell of secret ledger for salt shipments. Does this sound familiar? I don't feel like saying outright like this. It's good, but the others are not going to take us anywhere. Secret ledger? I've heard no such thing. Now be on your way. You're interfering with my work. Access to source is forbidden. You may go no further. We're looking for a rebel who was last seen this era. Have you any memory of such a person? Might he mean the one who would just want to go home? Perhaps this rebel will provide me with some information if I can convince this guard to move. I cannot say I have. I did see someone rather suspicious leaving the city. I did see some. Yep. You what? Thank you, good sir. You've done a good deed this day. A good deed, for sure. But not exactly for you. There's a woman living near the ministry whose life is consumed with rumors of all sides and sorts. She always has some fresh morsel or other. It would behoove you to speak with her. Rumor monger, you say? And I shall very much like to speak with her. Yes, thank you. Hello, rebel. Pray be calm, for he has gone. Has he? At least I can enter my own home. You have my everlasting gratitude. Is there naught I can do for you, good sir? You can provide me with information. Do you know anything of Hal's illicit salt dealings? Illicit salt dealings? No, I'm afraid not. Then even the swords would do. How might one go about prying to affairs of Hal's ended? I did seem quite determined. You may as well search their encampment itself. This is located beside the entrance to the source. If Sorsley has anything to hide, he most likely have hidden it there. The end encampment. If you cannot find the proof we seek there, then it generally does not exist. Yet, it is also the most brazen and dangerous course of action. We'll have to wait for the cover of darkness. Hello, can I see your house? A couple fibers. Thank you, sir. But let me check inside this house as well. This must be the journal Lila's secretary keeps. Looks like he underlined something here for emphasis. I find Sorsley's recent behavior highly irregular and improper. He took a meeting with Glenbrook officials in secret, wherein he dispersed generous bribes. Bribing Glenbrook officials? This is extremely valuable evidence. I must take note of this. Large HP recovery pallet, yes. Okay. Oh, no, there's still more here. Right? Yeah. Oh. Okay, that I could still talk there because I'm not taking the book. I'm just making my own notes from it. Hello. And send you aware of the latest rumor. Oh, she's the rumor monger. that flow through Hyden. I should like to hear more about them. You wish to hear the pop of rumors, Hyden. You needn't have been so coy. Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? Have you heard the tale of the vanishing vessel? If it arrives at the port in secret, only to vanish as quickly and quietly as it came. A ship that disappears in the night. How of the salt export have eluded me until now? Perhaps they were carrying it on the ship she speaks of? Can I go inside? Only those who have official business with the minister may enter. If you're no appointment, I must ask you to leave. I cannot. Okay. Claris. Is there any... Not enough. Is there anything else I can... Because why was there that option then? Is there anything I'm missing? So the bribes my secretary mentioned in his journal appear to be true. All that remains is to see what role they play in his illicit distribution enterprise. Oh, I haven't talked to you yet. Aesfront boasts of their freedom from the mountaintop, yet it's only ever the rich and powerful that rise to the top of the wretched duchy. While here in Hyzant, all are equal under the goddess' watchful eye, and all may live in peace, as long as they follow her orders. I scarcely need ask, but which nation in your estimation has the right of it? Freedom is a necessity for all. I send for Aesfront on this matter. It is the work of a nation's leader to ensure peace and equity. We have much to learn from Hyzant's rule. Neither. The Kingdom of Glenbrook, which I serve, bests you both. As we saw, like, the high houses have a bit of problem with Kalior. And right now, they're not in great shape. So I'm gonna have to say Hyzant. In the past was Glenbrook. Currently, Glenbrook's not looking so great. Quite right, quite right. You see the light of her ways. Oh, her magnificent. Having said that, quality yet escapes you. Your treatment of the Rosalie must change if your society is to be truly equitable. Ah, but only the most righteous may receive her blessing. Surely you do not argue that those criminals are worthy. And they are unbelievers besides. To treat them with kindness would be even greater sin than those that are already committed against her. Might I add that in holding such beliefs, you may well be in line to receive the same punishment yourself. Mind your words, sir. So this is how the faithful Hyzant think. Yeah, I talked to her. Thank you for the money. Is there really nothing else I can gather here? I'm very sorry to intrude, but might I borrow the pen and paper just there? I have a very important letter to write. Such paper will suffice, then you certainly may. May use the inkwell too. Okay, so now we can write a letter to Exarn. This is an important proposal from Minister Exarn. I bid you deliver it to him at once. Very good. I shall see that it reaches Minister Exarn by myself. The letter should secure Minister Exarn cooperation in exposing Sorsley's crime. I pray it reaches him soon. We cannot be too prepared, considering we're up against one of the Saintly Seven. Okay, we did the letter, we did the notes, we did the rumor. Can we talk to Claris now? Nope, not yet. What else is there? Maybe it has to do with the source? Okay, so we can still talk about the choice. Why guard the inch so close? Is there something you wish hide? That only makes one. Let's try to see if he can. Now the tree comes from the top. We got him with the tree. Not that I wish to hide. No, I have work keeping secrets. In all honesty, I can look the other way no longer. Swear to me you not enter the source and I shall talk. I've seen a dealer, different from the ones we've seen during the day, carry salt off at night, under cover of darkness. I confess, I received payment in exchange for my silence, but I know not from whom. Not as though it matters. My conscience withers and rolls just the same. Another vendor, in the middle of the night, highly suspicious. I shall make note of that. I'd wager that this person's involved in the illegal enterprise. Okay. Yet another. And now we talk, Claris? There we go. So unsavory characters making off assault, you say? I confess that not even I have noticed, if what you say is true. Though I simply cannot piece it together in my mind. How would they get to smuggle salt to Aesfront in the first place? The vanishing vessel. Okay, now I see. We have the very step. I just found the first step last. Ah yes, the disappeared vessel would figure nicely into the display. It is fortuitous that you contacted me, and I thank you. I tell you, this is strictly confidence. Talk of how ends crime has reached the consortium. There, Minister Sorsley is known to be a meticulous man, exceedingly concerned with the accuracy of his own ledger. If he has engaged in legal enterprise as you suggest, I doubt his conscience would allow his book to go unbalanced. He'll have kept a second ledger. Secret account. Of course, with that in hand, we'd have all the proof we need. The trouble, though, will be finding it. I see. All that is to get the secret ledger. And we're gonna have to find the secret ledger in his office at night. Okay, all the pieces are coming together. Let's save this in case there's anything more we need here. But I think that's it. I've heard enough. Now to organize my thought. Kinda nice that look for clues everywhere, and some clues lead to another clue, and finding out something we talk to somebody again.
You learned anything?
Sorsley is shrewd. He'll not reveal his true colors so easily.
Nothing can remain hidden indefinitely. A thorough review of the testimony shall show us the truth.
Benedict is right. Let us review what we know to be true.
A second ledger.
Serenoa, what does the evidence at hand suggest? Let us begin with Sorsley himself. What is his crime?
This part's very much reminded me of Danganronpa. He sold illicit salt. He bribed nobles right under her nose in Glenbrook. Both of these.
He bribed nobles right under our noses in Glenbrook.
How could I have been so blind to his dealings in the upper echelons of my own kingdom?
Though we know this to be true, I doubt we'll build a worthy case now that Aesfront rules the Crown City.
If we cannot secure the help of the remaining saints, we've no choice but to present our case directly to the Hierophant. Doing so will require incontrovertible proof of Sorsley's improprieties.
Maybe because I sent a letter, I'll be able to get Exarm to join us somehow. Let's see. Untriable proof that we lack. We kept secret ledger. There were irregular salt secret ledger. It might have said salt, illicit salt then.
course. Sales had to be carefully managed so as not to arouse suspicion.
Making detailed records a necessity. I've no doubt this ledger exists. Now then, let us focus on where we might find the evidence we need.
How's an encampment?
By which you mean Sorsley's encampment.
Precisely. Not the one at the Citadel of the Sands, so far from the source. Right here, in the capital.
I know its location.
Yeah, we all
The
do.
bribe Sorsley plied Glenbrook's nobles with be connected to his illicit dealings.
We know the ledger tracking the tainted salt exists.
End's encampment is our primary target, then. But it's too dangerous to get near, let alone inside.
Okay.
Despite our best efforts, I'm afraid we haven't evidence enough to confront him over his crimes.
And Sorsley will find us out soon enough, if he hasn't already.
Time is of the essence, then. What is our next move?
Though we lack proof, we'd best raise the issue with Camsell once more.
What? But he said you needed more proof. Did I mess up somewhere in the recap? Not gonna save just yet.
Serenoa and his retinue know House End is involved in the illicit salt trade, yet fail to secure any solid evidence to back up their claims. Their position growing tenuous, House Wolffort makes a reckless bid to persuade Camsell, Minister of Domestic Affairs, to levy charges.
I thought we were gonna look for his secret ledger.
Minister Camsell will join our cause, won't he?
Without proof.
It's hard to be sure, but we must
I doubt
press
it.
our case and have faith. That is all that is in our power to do.
You!
Hello?
Are you House End's dogs?
A messenger, my lord, from the palace. I seek Lord Serenoa Wolffort.
You have found him.
And you guys are?
Lord Wolffort, you have been accused of coercing Minister Sorsley End unto unlawful acts. Your
Us
presence is
coercing
required at
him?
the palace so the Holy One may question you.
House End is the guilty party, not Serenoa.
If you've testimony to give, you are welcome to stand witness at the trial.
My lord, this may be a good opportunity to bring our case directly to the Hierophant.
Oh, yeah. Now it's all or nothing.
I expect the Saintly Seven are not of one mind on this matter. If you can persuade some of the ministers to side with us,
Oh.
Sorsley will have nowhere to run.
Okay, so now we're doing voting with the 7, with the Saintly 7 set of our group.
Even so,
Wait, what did what did Roland say? Perhaps, or you could end up the one with his head on the chopping. Yeah, like I said, high, all or nothing.
else we truly will be alone. I must stand trial, plead my case to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, and hope that they believe me.
Okay. So we're going all in on this trial. Singleman survived the battle at the Citadel of the Sands, but who is he? Okay, this is the guy that we used the kudos for, right? The one from the encampment.
Got you right in my sights.
"30 years ago, during the war outside the Citadel." Look at him with that long bow. Okay, so he's an archer. There is Huet. There with the hawk. There is Rudolph with the traps, which we don't have, but he's on the path on Aesfront. While we went Heisen got quarantined. And then there's Archibald. I wonder what his specialty to differentiate him from the other archers.
This place shall not be my grave.
Maybe something to do with that move.
So the cycle of war and chaos begins anew.
Yep.
Once again,
There's
I
a
must
new
take
war.
my bow.
I've been watching you fight from afar, and I like what I see.
Like what I
Almost
see.
reminds me of myself in my younger days.
You flatter me.
Still, I doubt you'll emerge victorious. Without me on your side, that is. The name's Archibald. Allow me into your ranks, and you'll see. I can match men half my age, shot for shot.
I couldn't ask one so elderly to risk his life in battle.
This graybeard survived the Salt Iron War with naught but the bow in his back, I'll have you know. And my aim is just as sharp now as it was then. I haven't many years left, lad.
Reminds me of the old leader of the House Fox, which is also an older man
That is what you wish.
that used a bow in the war.
Refuse. We welcome your bow.
Archibald joins your forces. Now, what is his archer specialty here? A legendary and intimidating archer. Deals more damage, distant targets. His bow boasts increased range. Okay, so he's the archer with the most range, and the further, the better. That's basically what I ask of archers. Let's look at. He's level 12, right? Oh no, he's level 14. Look at him. Bow adapt. Bow serenity. Edge arrow. Deals physical damage. Has a 2-4, which is normal range actually. Deals physical damage to a single enemy, ignoring their defense. That's good against the shield bearers. Sniper. Deals greater damage the further the enemy is, so that's 4 range. Arrow spray. Deals physical damage to all enemies within range. Second sight, sticky arrow, and escapable arrow. I wonder what this weapon skills are. The Holy One summons the Saintly Seven to the palace. Cancel and the X-Arm consider their next move.
You've been summoned to the palace, Minister Kamsel. The Holy One is to hear the accusations against Minister End, and question House Wolffort.
Very well. So, Sorsley has made the first move. Serenora must not have been able to secure evidence against him after all. But order cannot truly be restored simply by sentencing House Wolffort.
I really thought I did the right thing, but I guess I might have chosen something wrong.
Make of this opportunity what I can.
So there is to be a trial. I see.
The Holy One requires the presence of the Saintly Seven immediately.
And here I thought you nearly had him, Wolffort. Did I overestimate you?
They really thinking that I'm done for. I don't have any. Is it over for me?
Who will be best put to the task?
Did I fail? A trial was held at Aesfront's palace, but will Sorsley be charged for his misdeeds.
The inquiry of House Wolffort stood accused by Minister Sorsley and will
Now,
hereby commence.
if it is a voting, I know that Sorsley and Tenebrae are one side, X-Arm and Console are the other. I'm guessing Lila is with them,
Swear by the goddess to speak the truth.
and I guess... Wait, technically 7, but there are 6.
I swear.
Answer the singly 7th question and prove Sorsley's guilt. Okay.
Minister
All or
Aesfront
nothing here.
Marshal, you may begin the proceedings.
We know Minister Sorsley quite well, having worked with him for these long years. But we know comparatively little of you, Lord Serenoa. Therefore, we must first determine whether you are worthy of our trust.
Okay.
Surely you have not forgotten his position among the saintly 7 of the holy state of Hyzant?
No. Of course I have. Find Sorsley's guilty is more important. It is as I wrote in the documents I provided. I guess this one?
I have written it all down as tradition requires.
Yes, I have read through your report. It is a sign of sincerity that you would proceed according to our customs.
Okay.
Indeed, I can confirm you are a man of honor and integrity.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good so far.
Once all presiding over the trial have had a chance to express their opinions over your report, we shall pass our judgment. I have nothing further to ask.
Next, Minister Kamsel Farrant will make his inquiries.
You must understand the difficult position you have put us in. Sauntering into our home to denounce one of our own.
Of course.
We are a welcoming people, and so must be wary of those who seek to take advantage of our open hearts. If a stranger came to you with unfounded accusations against one of your people, I doubt you would take him at his word.
Yeah, understandable.
Have you any proof of the foul deeds you claim have taken place in our land?
There have been shipments of unlawful salt. I've witnessed a witness to the salt transport. Who's my witness? I have a witness?
Who has seen the salt being transported. One of the guards at the source.
Oh.
Oh.
I kind of...
One of our citizens.
Yeah, I'm kind of letting him out.
Swear an oath of honesty to the goddess before assuming duty. Well then, it seems we ought to consider the matter a little further.
I mean, it sounds like I made the right choice, but I feel sorry for the guy.
Minister Tenebris, if you would.
Okay, Tenebris is with and with Sorsley.
People would fail to grasp the goddess's infinite wisdom. We 7, however, do understand her will. For most, our teachings are the only way they know how to live according to her plan. It is moot to judge Sorsley, one of the 7, based on evidence brought against him by a layperson. No matter what that evidence
I disagree with that.
Unless you have testimony from one who understands the goddess's will, there is simply nothing we can do.
Do I have a testimony like that? Claris might be. I have a witness Sorsley's bribery. Claris told me. I feel like Claris might be a good
Claris
one.
of the Consortium is the one who informed me of Sorsley's secret ledger. If you cannot believe me, you must at least believe him.
Lord Claris is indeed a man of excellent character, but he is still a mere merchant. One whose heart is ruled by coin cannot possibly understand the goddess's will.
Yeah, I might have chosen wrong there. But then again, it's Tenebrae, which is on Sorsley's side.
Ask your questions.
It is plain to me that Sorsley has indeed engaged in misconduct, namely bribery. Yet while I do not doubt he bribed an official of Glenbrook, what the bribe was for remains unclear. Perhaps you can shine some light on the matter, Lord Serenoa?
What was the bribe for? Okay. Sorsley wants to ensure the official silence over the transfer of unlawful salt. Sorsley wants to ensure the official silence over the cargo vessel disappeared in the middle of the night. I feel like the silence over the transport, not the vessel disappearing. The vessel disappearing makes no sense.
I believe he wished to ensure that word of the unlawful salt's destination would not travel.
Meaning that a powerful official in the Kingdom of Glenbrook was also complicit in this illicit trade. It would be possible to sell unlawful salt through all of Norzelia if one could ship it through Glenbrook. A secret worth its weight in gold indeed.
Sorsley's getting worried there.
I, Idor Delmira, will ask one final round of questions.
I feel like I'm doing good so far.
Lord Serenoa, that Sorsley can be foolish.
Look at that.
But he is also dedicated to the goddess, and he has worked much good as one of the seven. Though he is not faultless by any means, I believe the goddess yet favors him. If we are to pass judgment on such a man, we must prove his guilt to the goddess herself.
Okay, and how we're gonna do that?
Let me ask you this, Serenoa Wolffort. Where exactly are we to find such evidence?
Okay,
Sorsley
I think I got this one. In his encampment. In his encampment, in his secret ledger, wherever it is. That does not answer my... Wait. What? Was it in the pallet? Oh god, now I don't remember. Was it in the pallet? I feel like... Because these ones are always open and the others are locked. I feel like this one's where it does not answer anything. I'm gonna say his encampment.
There must be some evidence in House End's encampment.
Ah, yes. The goddess would not be able to see into a place so stripped of faith.
Not the Citadel.
Perhaps we would be remiss not to search the encampment on her behalf. My questions are done. Now we will confer with one another. The Holy One will pass judgment after hearing our opinions.
It sounds like it did well, but we'll have to see.
Serenoa Wolffort, the Holy One has passed judgment.
And?
House Wolffort is found to have spoken true.
Thank you.
Therefore, we find House Wolffort innocent and declare
Innocent.
End a traitor.
Okay, we did it.
What? Calm yourself. It seems the goddess has mercy yet to give you.
Praise her, and praise her wisdom. What mercy has she for me?
You will stand in combat against House Wolffort.
Oh.
Whomsoever emerges the victor will be cleansed of their sins.
I thought it was the innocent one here.
Combat.
And I have to combat him, and I might be purged.
Indeed heavy, Sorsley. Therefore, we give this
Okay.
to House Wolffort.
A grounding amulet. What does this amulet do? So I guess that's the advantage we have for succeeding. Level 60. We're only mere 14. What is this grounding amulet? Grants immunity to being knocked back. Perhaps Aerodor, which is in the front lines. Okay, it seems like everything's going well. So let's save. Hierophant Orcs are know which face Sorsley in combat. We don't thus recommend levels higher than our own. Okay, he wet might not be great here, because it's all plain ground.
It will be as the Hierophant has decreed. House End and House Wolffort will battle until the other falls.
This is crazy. Is Brooker here? I just realized that. Okay, he's not here.
Right? So guilty criminals get to walk free if they win?
So a strong criminal is free?
It is what the goddess teaches.
And likely the outcome agreed upon by those who view Sorsley as a threat.
Whatever the case may be, we must fight, and we must win.
They are united in their desire to destroy me. And it is your fault. You will pay for this, Wolffort.
Sorry if I only spoke the truth. And perhaps a little speculation. Okay. Decimate the enemy, lose all forces. We're 7. You reckon... Actually, Piccoletta might actually be pretty useful here, now that I think about it. Imagine if he could drop them off the side. Aerodor. Too wet.
To battle with pleasure.
Like, Piccoletta might be very useful, but who do I take out for her? Like, Frederica, important. Cyrano has to stay. Roland is recommended. Anna is very good. Gila is our healer. She has to stay. Yeah, I guess Benedict's gonna take a back seat for Piccoletta. Let's see, we have a rogue, battle mage, shield bearer. Shield bearer, battle mage, rogue. Okay. So same thing on both sides. Here it's in the front line. We can have Piccoletta create a decoy over here to distract them. So we'll focus on this side. There we go. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Decisive duel.
You seek my demise, do you? I, whose oversight of the source brought prosperity to this land?
Do not twist the truth to obfuscate your crimes.
It seems you've forgotten the goddess's will. Allow me to remind you.
Come then. Let us settle this in honest combat.
I will end this.
Just... Wait, we can actually stand here? Never mind, Huette would have been great here. She could have just gone over here and started shooting.
Shadows conceal me.
If I end my turn, it won't change my position, so might as well move. Can attack Piccoletta. Oh, good dodge.
How shall I destroy
Hi.
you?
Maybe I should have moved.
I won't lose.
No, no pushing him back. Let him stay here. Opportune attack.
I will make you regret every injury you inflict upon me.
I grow ever stronger.
Lash of Steel.
You don't stand a chance.
What does that do? Shield Slam. Here's
Forward.
Excuse me? I was joking about that. Okay, that is dumb. Never mind, I need to take out the battle mages.
Death from above.
That is so dumb that they can do that. And those did not even have a turn yet. Yeah, he's gonna backstrike.
Back at you. My skills grow sharper.
Strength in numbers.
Impressed? I'm a fool.
Ready or not, here I come!
Let me just... increase your strength when allies are nearby. Effect it and roll in Flash of Steel. Deals physical damage to all enemies in a straight line of 5 squares. That is such a dumb wind move.
We mustn't lose heart. Your wound.
I should have probably checked if I could reach up there.
Keep fighting!
Okay, I can't reach over here. Let me just check. The battle mage. And I should have checked that first. Every step hurts.
How?
The wind thing is such a BS. Can I provoke him? Only 60% chance.
Look to my shield.
Actually provoked all 3.
I love the battle.
Let me show you what I've learned.
No.
My turn.
Are we in bad spots? Sure.
Me too.
Oh, physical counter only happens once.
This can't be. I won't lose.
Since Gila's still down there. And now I'm using Quietus. Or we need to take out this stupid magus that blew Gila and Frederica down the well.
Ready or not, here I come!
This way so that he cannot flank if he attacks her.
You've done it now. I'll take this one. Have another.
That powerful one crit. No,
They're good.
you heal up.
Your wounds are healed. My growth is plain to see.
There's a stupid mage. Okay. Wait, actually that's the actual Piccoletta, not the decoy. Right?
I've been waiting for this.
Oh no, the real one's down here. Oh my god, I got confused. What does he have? Okay. I think I'm just gonna heal up, waiting for...
Time to work.
I don't like that shield bearer's right there, because he very much is gonna push Anna off.
This is the end.
Oh, how nice of you to go to the front.
You've done it now. Charge.
Okay. Gila is gonna be soon.
Brace yourself.
Hold your applause.
Just stay there. Back to back.
This can't be. I'll cut you down.
Allow me. Flames, heed my call.
Enjoy your freedom while it lasts. The moment I win, you will be cast into the source and left there to rot.
Yeah.
The Roselle have suffered too long under your cruelty. Mark me, Sorsley, and you will pay for what you have
I like
done.
how Frederica's the one in charge since Thurno is gone. She is the Lady Wolffort. Even though they technically did not get married yet, but you get what I mean. Can I heal him up? Ranged.
Sorry to worry you.
Ball toss. There we go. Now we're talking.
You've done it now.
Cool heads shall prevail.
Let me just look at this ball toss. Only costs 1. Deals physical damage to either a single enemy or ally. What? Why do you want to deal damage to an ally? There we go. Now that Gila is here, it's all good. Like, they pushed my mage and healer all the way to the bottom. Wait. He's immune to temptation. You know what? He's not? Oh, he has grounding amulet. Okay, never mind. See, and that's why you look. Wait. He moved with it? Now I imagine they're gonna... Yep.
Too obvious.
Good job, Anna.
Time to work.
Now, I actually did not want to move from here so that the other one can try to push me. Then again, if I move it not... 1, 2, 3... That moves 5 back, right? No, 3 back. Okay, so if I move to, like, here, he won't be able... No, he can. From over here, can push me out. Okay, here, then.
This'll hurt.
And it's from the front line.
This'll hurt.
To battle, I suppose.
We're just all grouped up in the middle.
I won't lose. My lance strikes true. Yes! You're wide open. Nice try! Me too!
Wait, why am I turned that way? I thought I turned this way. If I do this. Wake up.
At this rate,
Okay. That does not do a whole lot. And that still doesn't kill him.
with the powers in me. This
She learned Pillars of Fire. What does that do? Deals fire damage to enemies across 5 horizontal square and set the ground ablaze. Huh?
Me too.
Let me heal
That's
your
fine.
wounds.
What about Sanctuary? Okay, yeah, Sanctuary is good here. All 3 of them needed a heal.
I'll take you on.
Wow, they have so much defense. Okay, there we go. I guess the poison's actually a very good tool now that I think about it.
Time to work.
I'm gonna go get that spoil. Gonna backstrike. Oh no, Piccoletta.
How shall I destroy you?
That's fine. He still lives. Okay, what? If I go this way, can I? Oh my god. That's a rogue. And he dodged it.
Don't it? For my kingdom.
Damn it! I'll take this one.
Where's your next?
Go over there.
I cannot lose.
There we go.
2 ashes.
I shall do what I can.
I have to use another sanctuary here.
This is what I do.
My apologies.
Wait, he's not immune to poison. Such a low chance.
This'll hurt.
Yeah. We did not manage it. She's almost level 17.
They're closing in.
Now you're scared?
Take more than this farce of a trial to destroy me. You will pay. You will all pay. Come at me. Away! Gotcha!
I won't lose.
Let's push him back so that he can do a flank. The other guy can't do a flank. No, let's. We can move over here. Oh, Frederica. That was throwing knives are brutal. Wait.
You're wide open.
Let's flank with ourselves.
My turn.
Wait. Might as well give an attack over here before we leave. And then we go over here.
This is the end.
Look at that, she's level 17. And it's just so strong.
Be at ease.
Sorry to worry you.
I've been waiting for this.
Wait, let's see. Okay. We're in the clear. Suffer. Suffer what I suffered. Or rather, Frederica and Angela suffered.
Your luck has run out. Let the show begin.
Oh, you just standing there? Okay. He does the exact same damage. But yeah, same power. Just ranged. We're just collecting kudos here.
I will end this.
Suffer. Sound strike. This'll hurt. Victory is within reach.
How could this be?
Actually make the healer asleep. It's not a bad.
For victory.
Oh no, he has the.
You won't beat me. To victory.
Now if I can move back there, I can block the other from coming back. Then again, I guess he's not gonna move. Guess he's just gonna stay there. That's fine. Actually, I should have done ball toss to Gila.
Your orders?
Which direction is he facing? I can't tell. I think he's facing Roland.
You will despair. Sound strike.
Leave it to me. This is most unpleasant. For victory.
And there we go. Just for appearances.
This is where you fall.
Ooh.
No, this is not the end of me. I refuse to allow it.
Ironically, the main couple, the Wolffort couple, are the ones that are gone here.
I'll take you on.
Piccoletta, can you hit him? You can't. The height's too big. The 10 height difference. I really wish you could ball toss to him down there. Maybe. Okay, it didn't matter. And the last guy suffer like they made Frederick and Gila do. Medal of Bravery. Right, somebody else getting promoted. Is it Anna? The level 17 one?
Victory goes to House Wolffort. Give thanks to the goddess for bestowing upon you her grace. This concludes your trial. Well fought, all of you.
But yeah, I can see how Ian's would be good there. Just setting traps to send people flying.
It was the Hierophant's decree. None in Hyzant raise objections.
Ain't nothing to be ashamed of, my lord. After all, losing the battle would have meant losing our heads.
I suppose you are right.
I want to see other people's reaction to being blown away and all that. Then again, they have to reach this point, which I'm not sure. Like, there's so many paths before we get here. And I'm not watching a lot of triangle strategy gameplay, so there's not a lot to base on.
That same day, word
to
spread
find their
throughout
way up to
Hyzant
this.
of Sorsley End's demise, and that of House End along with him.
The reward for betrayal. 3 character stories. Okay. Frederica has an important matter to discuss with Gila. Is it about Serenoa? Since he's right there as well.
Lord Serenoa never ceases to amaze me. Despite all the hours he dedicates to his duties, he looks none the worse for wear.
Even so, I am certain it takes its toll on him. He wants to set an example for his people and those who serve him, and wishes not to worry them over his condition.
Yep.
Excuse me, Serenoa, but is there anything I could do to help?
Frederica, my apologies for the delay. The citizen's petition will require a bit more time, so why don't you and Gila return home ahead of me?
I see, if you insist.
I meant she was asking if she could help, not if you're gonna take
Please do
long.
not push yourself too hard, Serenoa.
I shan't. Thank you, Frederica.
Of course.
Are they gonna talk in private now, or is that the end of this? They're gonna talk in private.
Is something the matter? It's rare of you to sigh like that.
Did I? Oh my.
It looks like something's troubling you. If you wish to talk about it, I am happy to lend an ear.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I sometimes wonder if I can go on like this.
Are things not going well with Lord Serenoa?
No! Serenoa is as kind and gentle as ever. It is my own self I have doubts about.
Why do you have doubt about yourself?
I cannot help but wonder if I am truly of any use to him.
Of course you are.
Since Lord
You're
Serenoa
very
is
special
always
to
working
him.
so hard, why not give him a tonic to boost his vitality? I purchased one from a merchant not long ago. It should chase all his fatigue away.
A good idea to be sure, but the fact remains it is not me myself that is serving him.
Then how about preparing a meal for him? Something nutritious to fill him with vim and vigor.
Me? Cook?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm certain
Since
you'll be delighted by anything that
I
you
guess
make.
since she's from the
But I've never cooked before.
main family
I
from
doubt
the
anything
Grand
I cook would
Duchy.
suffice.
Yeah, I imagine
You
she
won't
has
know until
no
you
experience.
Besides, what matters isn't the result, but the feeling behind it.
I was about to mention that. The whole fact that she attempted that will also have meaning for Serenoa.
Use this cookbook. I'm sure you will find a recipe or two to your liking.
Thank you, Gila. Now then, which of these would Serenoa enjoy?
And now Gila's turn. Gila realizes that she shares some surprising similarities with someone. And who that might be.
Greetings. Were you training outside?
Ah, Huette. Oh, I forgot. I was like, why is it taking long?
Even I stay away from the proving grounds on occasion. The members of the King's Guard must keep themselves in prime fighting shape. That includes resting when our bodies are weary.
Mm-hmm.
A wise policy. The handmaidens of Aesfront adhere to a similar principle. With clear eyes, we see, we serve, we anticipate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just like how a healer has prioritized healing themselves first.
Indeed.
Otherwise, they won't be alive to heal the others.
In times of need. Even so, we are only human. If I may ask in confidence, do you ever find it trying to serve Prince Roland?
Trying?
Is he ever unreasonable? Have you ever found your patience?
I mean, I guess you can see how that can be when he's
It is an
going
honor to
out
serve,
without
always.
warning.
It is an odd question to ask, but I must confess I find it hard to imagine what it is like to serve in a society such as Aesfrost's.
As do I, although I lived through it. It all feels as if it were
Like-
so long ago.
You're not one for speaking plain, are you? But I suspect we may have much in common. I'm curious to hear your story, if you are willing to share it.
Of course. I made a promise to myself long ago to effect change through my own deeds, not to live as a mere servant.
And what came of that promise?
Hailing from Hyzant, at first I endeavored to learn at the ministry,
Of
that I might
course.
use the knowledge gained there to help others.
Of course.
But they guard their secrets fiercely, and maintain strict control over what fields their students can pursue.
As we learned.
As much as it pained me to leave my home, I could not suffer such stifling rules, and so set forth to Aesfront. I took quickly to learning at
I
the
guess from the
Archives,
rules
where
to the
independent
freedom.
study is encouraged. I spent days in the stacks, soaking up
Yeah,
as
it's
much
very
knowledge as I
different
could.
from the ministry,
When
huh?
One day,
Oh, we're getting to learn a bit about the past. The archives. That's
You are
Varrock.
the one called Gila, yes?
yes, my lord.
They tell me you're the most talented researcher the archives have ever seen.
Interesting, Svarog's here, not at Twins
say
Gate.
that, my lord.
Maybe that's before he was
Though
appointed
I
to the
do
Twins
spend
Gate.
more time here than most anyone else.
Admirable modesty. And you aren't frightened of me. Most impressive. I believe we have a suitable role for you. Come with me. The Archduke would have a word.
And that's where she met Frederica, I presume.
But
no harm will come to you, if that is your fear. Now, follow me.
Lord Svarog had arranged an audience with the former Archduke of Aesfront, who appointed me as Frederica's personal tutor.
Yep.
She was the former Archduke's daughter, so I took my duty seriously. Yet I could never shake the feeling that I had betrayed my ideals. Perhaps I justified it by telling myself that my teachings could plant the seed for change.
I mean, that
Indirect
can
approach,
be.
but an active one nonetheless.
Yeah, that can still help.
The chance was unexpected, to be sure, but I could not very well deny it. The Archduke's successor, Gustadov, was a man that paid no heed to birth or blood.
Which on paper sounds
A
good.
change in people's attitudes, a change which provided fertile ground in which my teachings could take root.
Like, how is
I
such
stayed by Frederica's side. Truth be told, I had not thought to be with her
good
for this
principles
long.
from
And
such
yet,
vile person?
Life is truly a journey of unforeseen destinations.
And last but not least, Piccoletta. Beneath a star-filled sky, Piccoletta recalls her days in the circus. Oh, we're gonna have a flashback from her circus days. Oh, sorry, I did not want to skip that. Look at the stars. Oh, she's with Gila.
Wow. The stars are so pretty. They're always so bright, no matter where I go.
You were in a circus, right, Piccoletta?
Yeah.
We performed in all kinds of places together.
Now she has ball toss, which is like a ranged physical attack. A ranged physical
There were
attack.
people from Glenbrook, people from Hyzant. But when the war started, the circus broke up. Our circus master was from Aesfront, and he said he had to go and fight for his country.
Hmm.
Even the poor animals were all taken away.
Oh,
They were
really?
Like my family.
Piccoletta.
But I won't give up.
I'm surprised
I'll help you
no
in
one
this war,
took her
and then I'll bring
with
back my
them.
circus troupe.
I believe in you, Piccoletta. But to do
Hope-
that, you'll need to build up your strength. And look, it's almost time to eat.
Yeah.
Yay! Let's eat together again today.
Oh, that was a short one, but still nice. Let's go to the encampment, because we have a metal bravery. Can we get another one, though? Even so, it can't bear to see Norzella suffer the horrors of war much longer. Don't hesitate, send mage back. I'll end up there anyway. This old soldier is strong to the vanguard, like a moth to the flag. Oh, looks like someone's ready for class promotion. Nope. Okay. Our options: Benedict, Gila, Anna, Duet, Quarantine. Let's look at their abilities again. We'll find that level 15. Hers a level 18. Hers a level 18. Slumber Stab. We've seen the guy we just faced using it. Why is the name escaping me? Focus at level 18. We saw that's only the first hit. And we know what Shield of Ice is gonna be. Okay. Yeah, I do think Anna is our choice here, because she's level 17. There's a bunch of 40s. Piccoletta 60. Airlord 16, Roland 16. But she's 17. She's gonna gain a lot from this. Like, Anna, her act white's so strong.
I must be ever ready.
Now, from a spy, she's an assassin. She can become a master assassin. What about the others? Swordmaster, Cavalryman, Firemaster, Master, just masters. Swordmaster, Master Cavalryman, Firemaster, Master Guardian, Master Advisor, Cure Knight, Spellmaster, Medicine Master, Craft Master, Divine Bow, the Bow Adapt, Feminist Spirit Master, Wordsmith, Elocutionist, Trick Master, Strategist. Oh, because we don't have it. Probably gonna be Strategy Master Strategist. There we go. Curist, Master Curist, Master Fly, Ice Caster to Ice Master. Yeah. And the extra TP is also going to be very useful for her, as we were running out of it. Okay. Do you have any weapon upgrades? We can upgrade this on this weapon with oak. As well as Osabara. Ah, yeah, there it is. I'm gonna wait on that, because I don't know how I feel about Izana. I'll try her out first. Oh, we can get Ball Toss. We can upgrade some of his stuff. Can upgrade some of his, which is probably gonna be weapon potency and accuracy. Oh, this could combo well with her. So she is fiber and timber. Fiber and timber. Fiber. Fiber and timber. I want to get this ball toss. Probably more movement, no more jump. I always go down there. Lila reacts to Sorsley passing. Lila was more on our side, so let's see what she thinks of that.
Sorsley end is with the goddess now.
Sorsley, that's the name. So yeah, he had the slumber stab.
Among the dead from the accident.
Keep spinning those lies, and soon they shall be tied around your neck. Though in truth, I'm surprised they've not done so already.
Are you not pleased, milady? Shall I inform Minister Edor?
Be my guest. Without me, all research grinds to a halt. My mind is without equal.
But of course, Minister, I was only teasing. Would it kill you to smile for once?
Be more aware of the words from your mouth. Remember, you are not but Edor's pawn.
Forgive me. Where are my manners? Now pray, return to your precious research. See that you complete it, for you know who.
For you know who.
I know full well who it serves. We're all pawns in the end.
Yeah. With the goddess teachings, you guys sure are. Sir Noah's party barely has a moment to collect a breath before a new challenge is laid before them. What is it this time?
So, Lord Serenoa, what shall you do now?
Well,
I shall speak plainly. The Holy One wishes to aid House Wolffort.
That's nice to know.
thank you, Your Holiness.
Your house is known throughout all Norzelia, and rightly so, given the vital land you control.
It would be quite the blow if
The last remaining part of
aggression
Glenbrook
was
should be
the end of your
precise.
reign.
The Hierophant tells me a seat amongst the Saintly Seven shall be yours, should you desire it.
Become a saintly seven?
And I would not hesitate to accept it if it meant securing peace for my people.
Then perhaps we can find common ground.
But you guys have a problem with the
Hierophant,
Rosalind.
however, has a concern.
I would hear it.
The Roselle living in your
Yeah.
domain.
It's not just Frederica, but we have a whole village of them.
They are descendants of the sinners who dwell at the source. That is their proper place. There they offer themselves to the goddess in the hopes they may one day atone for their sins. The Hierophant longs to see them return to their rightful home.
That's not the
You
rightful
would have
home.
me surrender them to you.
It is not my place to make demands. I am merely to deliver unto you the word of the Hierophant. And so I have done.
I'm not gonna give the Rosalind. Like, they do not deserve this mistreatment.
Serenoa, will you surrender the Roselle to Hyzant?
I don't know.
As you are
I
doubtless
do know.
aware, Lady Frederica, the vow of Lord Simon himself binds us to protect them. Alas, our house is not what it once was.
Is that a reason to cast aside its honor? My father, as well, likely had a hand in orchestrating their protection.
Exarn.
Ah, my friends, I apologize that we once again meet under dire circumstances. You face a difficult choice, one I do not envy.
Not so difficult.
Not yet.
A troublesome one, which we'll have to arc with the consequence.
By the small ones, and they
But the choice is right there.
well aware of our history.
Lest you misunderstand, allow me to illuminate your position. You are not the noble hawks you think yourselves to be. You are vultures, feeding off the scraps of Sorsley's corpse.
You've got some nerve.
I speak from experience when I say that the title of saint is not to be worn lightly. Are you prepared?
In exchange for Rosalian? No.
Doubtless you are aching to break free of your fetters, to take wing and soar. To do that, blood must be spilled. The blood of enemy, friend, and self alike. Your freedom lies at the end of a trail of dead. If you are not prepared to make that journey, to endure that sacrifice, then cast aside your pretensions and grovel.
Grovel or bleed. Poor options, both.
I'm seeing I have a lot of units needing training.
In his time, Lord Simon protected the Roselle who fled Hyzant, and the village they established within the Wolffort domain. 30 years have passed since then. The Hierophant uses the illegal salt trade incident as leverage to demand those Roselle be sent to the source, where Hyzantian faith dictates they must reside. To secure the Hierophant's goodwill and the subsequent protection of House Wolffort, Serenoa has no other choice but to acquiesce. Thus, with House End ruined and a vacant position among the Saintly Seven to be filled, rumors of House Wolffort's ascendancy start sounding more credible than ever to the people of Hyzant.
Rations under the sun. Are we taking the harsh road? Yes, but we're sticking with our morals. Our honor.
Lord Serenoa, I believe it may be in our best interest to turn over the Roselle after all.
But they fought so hard to escape Hyzant. They would never agree to return.
And that includes
It would
his
be
wife.
a show of good faith to the Saintly Seven and secure House Wolffort's safety. If the situation calls for force, well, we must be prepared, to borrow Minister Exham's words.
I see. Give me time to think over the matter. Where is Frederica?
If we are to make a voting, I know Frederica and Roland are against
she
it.
left for the source with Prince Roland. She said she wanted to see where the Roselle live for herself.
Oh, so that they can see the source.
Byzantine law requires all Roselle to make their home at the source.
She is most troubled over this, Lord Serenoa. Please, if you could...
I understand.
I imagine
will make
Gila
the
is
source
also
at once.
on their side. Oh, hello there. Good thing I learned this little trick. A dancer approached certain men in Glenbrook with an intriguing offer. Is it the dancer that was talking to Lila? Oh, look who's there. Silvio Tellior.
Silvio Tellior, I presume?
Who might you be?
Someone who brings good tidings. An offer you may wish to consider.
I am ruined.
Who would want to offer me anything?
It is Minister Edor's wish. Will you hear me out?
Why is Edor? What does Edor want with him?
You are Hyzantian.
My master is eager for your assistance, as you are quite close to House Wolffort.
I wouldn't really call them close. Are they gonna request his aid? Does Rufus in case we don't agree? From the throne room of Whiteholm Castle, Gusadolf begins the next stage of his plan.
Thalus, thank you for making the necessary arrangements.
No need to thank me. I am your Prime Minister, after all. I have made sure those with any power in Glenbrook understand their place. They will do as we command.
Except Lord Cyrano Wolffort.
It is time.
Is there nothing I might do to aid you, brother?
If there were, I would tell you. And the consortium, Thalus?
Oh, I expect we shan't have any trouble from them. I have promised them a considerable sum to stay out of our way.
Good. Now it is just a waiting game. I wonder how long the Hyzantians will last.
But now they're planning to go, I guess, after the Holy Land of Hyzant, which they mentioned before that he was gonna go. Frederica makes her way to the source, where her fellow Rosalians, but
Please, I'd only like to glimpse the goddess's sacred grounds for myself. It won't take but a moment.
That may be, but outsiders are not permitted into the source for such frivolities. And you are Roselyn. You ought to understand the teachings better than anyone.
Frederica.
they do not want people to see
Serenoa,
the treatment
forgive my
of
impulsive
the Rosalian.
There's nothing to forgive. I too wish to learn more of the Roselle and Hyzant. Not knowing would make my decision easier, but still I feel I must.
Serenoa? From House Wolffort?
The very same. Lord Serenoa Wolffort. The one who will assume control of the salt trade in short order, as House End once did. To that
Hold
end,
up.
We are here today for a preliminary inspection of the grounds. So the rumors were true.
I did not say accept that.
Well, are you refusing the newest addition to the Saintly Seven entry into the source?
I guess she's saying that just so we can get the entrance,
Please, right this way.
but I did not. Chose to accept that. It's the bell where. Oh, I just saw him from over there.
All right, you Rosellan wretches. Time for worship.
Yeah, the worship hour.
Minister Edor of the Saintly Seven himself will be giving the sermon today.
And I see some people just falling on the ground.
Your sins shall be
Both here in the front and all the way in the back.
Roselle, do you know why you are imprisoned at the source, condemned to toil?
Just as a reminder, that's how he looks.
It is because your ancestors committed the most heinous of sins.
Yeah, the ancestors, they have no no blame for that.
They schemed to seize control of the salt that the goddess bequeathed to the people of Nozelia. They seized the source for themselves, wresting every last grain of salt from other peoples, desperate for the resource.
And you guys are pretty much doing the same thing,
Hoarded as a shield, they terrorized
using
the land,
exorbitant
destroying
prices
any
for the
who
salt.
stood against them in their thirst for domination. Fanned by their greed, the flames of war long ravaged our land. Countless innocents lost their lives. What a terrible, arrogant people. Their cursed souls dwell within you, their progeny, to this very day. Indeed, the proof is in the very color of your hair. The same red as the blood that flowed from their countless victims.
Our people sinned against the goddess. We are a detestable blight upon Norzelia.
Oh, goddess of salt, please, forgive us our sins.
Yes, they've been there so long that they...
Do not despair, for the goddess of salt is ever merciful and
Or maybe they're just saying it for either one.
grants even the worst of sinners, even you, a chance to atone. That atonement will only come through hard work here at the source.
At millions of years.
By quenching this earth with your sweat, by giving your lives to this labor,
Literally.
your cursed souls will be cleansed and welcomed back to the goddess's side. Only then, when your sins have been washed away, can you hope to be reborn into a pure body and once again walk upon Nozelia. People of the Roselle, surrender your lives to the source and give your thanks to the great goddess.
O goddess of salt, for you I give myself, stained with sin as I am, to the source. Thank you for granting us the chance to atone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is just manipulation.
That is enough. Now take that gratitude and turn it toward your work.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
This is atonement? And the Roselle accept it as a fitting punishment? Even if that story Idor told is true, no sin warrants this kind of cruel retribution. Hyzant maintains control over Salt now. Are they then not guilty of the same crime?
Right? I was talking about that.
You are right. But this is as the goddess of salt commands, is it not?
Time to see for myself what goes on at the source. Time to check things at the source. Movement bangle. Increase one movement. So that she can move around. We need only to follow the goddess teaching in order to be absolved. Grounding, another grounding amulet. Okay, we gave that one to Erador. Who else has to stay still? I guess these two, the front lines basically. Gonna give it to Serenoa because Roland has the horse, which I presume he has 2-6, while Serenoa 2-5. See, he has more movement. They force young and old alike to toil in deplorable conditions and have the audacity to call it atonement. They don't even tend to those who collapse from exhaustion. They treat my people worse than criminals. It breaks my heart to behold such cruelty. I can scarcely imagine what it must be like to suffer through this. I would love to set them free, but they're under constant watch. It would be nigh impossible. If they're free, they will be just like the ones back at home. I understand how you feel, but we must look away. We have to use this opportunity to learn all we can. They did not think the Rosalian human. That is the only way a nation arrives at such cruelty. Right now we're just here to learn. I suppose so. After all, so few are granted access to the source. But I fear I cannot bear to stare into the void where eyes and humanity should be. See my people suffer. Frederica. I mean, I understand her plight, but there's little cure-all power. I hope they give us water today. The treatment of Rosalind here is utterly inhumane. I can't do it. I can't carry the salt. How can the Holy Saint allow a man in his condition continue working? It's the only work I ever know. Though I'm fit for now. Many years ago, some of us tried to flee this place. None would dare to dream of doing that now. This is the only work I ever know. Oh yeah. I just did not realize he was an old man. Cask weighs nothing when compared to the weight of our sins. The worst part is also the manipulation of their mind. I understand that they yet to replace Mr. Sorsley as an overseer. So we lumber on, a beast without a head, no one to each order, should a crisis arise. It's hardly surprising. He was one of the Saintly Seven. They will not replace him so hastily. Rumors roll that they might call upon the Wolffort boy. No one in particular, forget this guy right beside us. I don't care if they pick my own mother, so long as the position's filled. So they would install me as overseer of the source, if I can't find my way into the Saintly Seven. Faster. There shall be no rest for the wicked. Ah, well, Sir Noah of the House Wolffort, I presume. I'm sorry you had to lay eyes on the tainted ones, but this is where the Rosella paid their penance. The tainted Rosella are fated to live out their lives working the source, in the hopes they may one day atone for their sins. They are nothing like the rest of us. By the very nature of their birth, they are impure and lack integrity. The nature of one's birth did not enter into it. We are all born the same, and you have the purity they lack. I see before me a man like any other. Salt has brought prosperity to Holy State. Why rely solely on the Roselli, where everyone could aid in their harvests? Like, I agree with this, but I feel like he is not going to take it kindly to this. Oh, then again, none of this is taken kindly. I do agree that one's birth did not enter into any equation. Forgive my lack of decorum, but only an unbeliever would dare utter something so stupid. And of all the unbelievers, you, the Lord of the House Wolffort, long do proclaim we are born equal from the seed that is his birthright. Then I trust you have no trouble explaining why the Holy One seems poised to offer this unbeliever a seat among the Saintly Seven. Well, clearly that's not for me to know. No one can truly know the goddess' ways. Range recovery pellets. We use one. It's kind of hard to tell what's an item and what's just the background shining. Okay. Right. There we go. Quality stone. There we go. That's what else. I think that's all we can gather here. And how do we get out? Oh, and exploration, that's right. We should return to the encampment.
This is more awful than I imagined.
Will you still send any Roselle in the Wolffort domain here? Force them into a life like this?
Of course not.
It isn't right. It isn't just. I don't care that it would ensure our own safety.
Indeed, it would be unforgivable. What is just is constantly in flux depending on the circumstances. That said, protecting people is always the right thing to do. Wouldn't you agree, Serenoa?
I feel the same as you both, but...
My apologies. I didn't mean to place all the blame on you. Still, we continue stumbling on the path before us.
Like I said, my opinion has not changed. It is gonna be a tough situation, but I'm not gonna back down.
Serenoa and his retinue return to their domain, their every step weighed down by the heavy task Hyzant has placed upon them. Elsewhere, the newly restored Kingdom of Glenbrook begins to take action under Queen Cordelia's
Kingdom of Glenbrook.
leadership. The kingdom issues a joint proclamation with Aesfront against Hyzant, halting all trade and severing diplomatic ties with the Holy State.
Oh no, Hyzant's under attack. So I guess, just like last time, we're gonna end this with a voting. An unrest spreads across the Roselli. Serenoa must decide the future of the Roselian villagers. Well, let's go.
Aesfront and Glenbrook signed an agreement denouncing Hyzant.
Word only just arrived, and it is no mere rumor. They've issued a formal proclamation.
Preposterous! Gustadolf must have forced Cordelia's hand. This is sure to make Hyzant...
He's been doing that for a long time now.
All this denouncement will do is hamstring Aesfront and Glenbrook both.
My brother, Gustadolf does not fight battles he cannot win. I'm certain this is part of some greater ploy.
Just take over all of the land
stands on the precipice
of the Norzelia.
What I cannot say.
Each nation is making its move. We too must take action to secure our position before it's too late.
By which you mean expelling the Roselle?
To protect the Wolffort domain and its people, no one would dare hold such actions against you. Lord Serenoa, you must make a decision.
I'm guessing.
I saw what it is truly like at the source. The Rosellan are forced into back-breaking labor. No decent man would condemn another to such a fate.
Yeah, I'm still saying like Gila, Frederica,
we will face the same dire consequences as House End. Should that happen, the Roselle would still be lost. Would they
Okay.
not?
So Anna is against, together with Benedict.
No one is saying it is right, but a decision must be made. We must prioritize our own survival. That much should be clear.
And our own
And survive
includes
we
our
shall
people.
if we can secure Hyzant's aid. Unless you know of another way.
Serenoa, I beseech you, not as one with Roselle blood in her veins, but as a person, as a Wolffort. You cannot give up the Roselle to Hyzant.
I appreciate each of your arguments, but we cannot debate this forever. It is time to decide. Once more to the scales of conviction.
Yep. We need Hyzant's support if we are to reclaim Glenbrook. But it comes at a price. One the Roselle under our protection must pay. So Duet is the undecided one. So as much as all the work we did to work on a relation with Hyzant, we cannot abide by this. The Roselle are people of the Wolffort domains, but if we allied with the fight the Hierophant, we'll face the same fate as Out Inn. I'm at a loss. Roselle are to be protected. Even if it earns us Hyzant's ire. Lord Serenoa, so you think we should protect the Roselle? Perhaps we could get the Holy Sage promise not to attack the Rosellan village, as my father once did. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. As much as we wish for that, that's wishful thinking. The Holy State needs our power if they are to fight the Duchy. We can use that to our advantage in negotiations. That's what I hoped for. That this is our first bargain with the Hierophant. He might play to our advantage to deny the request just once.
Truly?
I must admit, I was almost caught off guard by the Archduke's decree. It could be a harbinger of war indeed. And if we are on the brink of battle, the strength and expertise of House Wolffort would prove invaluable to the Holy State. We may be able to leverage that to gain some sort of concession from them regarding the Roselle.
I don't know what to do.
Personally, I agree with you. I don't want to threaten the Roselle. But are there any other reasons you want to protect them? I must defend my people, even against Hierophant. Call it a Lord's pride. They are Frederica's people, I cannot simply look the other way. Doesn't matter if they're Frederica's people, Benedict's people, no one here's people. I would hate with the reason that people's faith are how it's shaken, especially after all my father has done. I must defend my people. I see. I feel the same way. As a member of the King's Court, I cannot let the subject of Glenbrook be treated as unjustly. This is both my pride and conviction, and I would like to see them through to the end.
I don't know what to do.
The more I think about this, the more my heart aches. And I'm surprised, Gila is actually part of delivering the Rosellan, and Eredor is not. I thought it would be the other way around.
What do you need?
The Rosellan in that village are those who fled Hyzant and their descendants. If the Holy State asks for the people to be returned, we have little room to argue. If we refuse, we'll be branded as heretics. But bending the knee would earn you the title Saint, Lord Serenoa. I think it is in our best interest to obey for now. So you would choose to protect Rosellan. Might I ask why? If we accept the goddess' teaching, there's a chance we put even Frederica in danger. I have seen the harsh reality as a source for myself. I cannot subject my people to such cruel treatment.
Yes, I see.
It is only natural you will not protect your people, as your father did. Even more so now that you have seen the swords with your own eyes. It might be said that earning the great power of a saint requires great sacrifice, but I fear we could stand to lose much more than in the process.
I require some time to think.
Do we focus on what we stand to gain, or the weight we might lose? The answer is not a simple one. Okay, you're deep in thought. I can't tell if that was enough or not. Hannah?
Lord Saranoa.
House Wolffort has overcome countless hardships to get where we are now. If we refuse to relinquish the Rosellen, we will meet the same fate as House End. Our first priority must be our own survival, and that includes the Rosellen people in our domain. If we do not survive, we can do nothing for the Rosellen. You believe we must protect the Rosellen. Why? These people never forgive us for doing something so heartless. We felt this sport would be easy prey to the Holy State. I can no longer trade to Aesfront and Glenbrook as their only remaining partner. We have grounds for negotiation. If I was named Saint, we are still unbelievers. As such, I doubt they would grant me much power. Yeah, there's grounds for negotiation or not being granted power. Take grounds for negotiation.
Perhaps.
I see. So we can use the Archduke's decree to our advantage. Aye. Even a great nation like Hyzet can only survive so long on its own. No one can tell what Aesfront is scheming, though the Holy States is undoubtedly desperate for a trading partner. And we could use that desperation to secure the Rosellan safety. They would hardly be in a position to refuse, especially while preparing for their battle against the Duchy. It is a path worth considering.
So?
Do you harbor any doubts about the Holy State, my lord? The Holy State acts in accordance with the Hierophant's wishes. If you're given to one request, will only be the beginning of many more. It is not the Holy State, but Hierophant that I fear. Their orders are cold and callous, as if they have no heart. Aye, they wish to have the Rosellan back so badly that they would use us to that end. I cannot help but wonder why. Yeah, say this one.
Indeed.
I agree. They must harbor their own suspicion of us being unbelievers. There's a chance that they can change force us to make a decision like this. Even if we relinquish the Rosellan, we should find a way to keep fair birth without bending to their will.
I must hear what the others
I understand your concern, my lord. I have my own doubts, truth be told. She's been moved. Okay. Benedict, you're the only one left. Read the fight, the Holy One. Everything we have done to this very moment will have been for naught. I do think that he's going to be hard to persuade. House Wolffort needs Hyzent's support if it is to survive. It pains me to have said it, but the situation leaves us no choice but to surrender the Rosellan. Okay, he can be swayed. We just need to be careful what we say. I thought you might be opposed. I should like to hear your thoughts. You're open to sharing them. The Rosellan is citizens of Wolffort, and there's no future for a house that bends people. We need all the soldiers we can get. We have protected Rosellan for decades now. I'm sorry they would join our fight. Thanks. Join the fight? Abandoning the people or joining the fight? What would convince Benedict more? Interesting that there's only two choices. This is a bit of presumption here, so I'm gonna go with this one. Your feeling for people are praiseworthy and every bit befitting of your station. But the situation that surrounds us cares little for feelings, and it's also your duty as Lord to approach it rationally. It appears our views are in an impasse. Allow me to ask you one more thing, my lord. Doesn't seem like I'm not gonna move him. The political climate took an unexpected turn once Aesfront cut ties with Hyzet.
Certainly not.
How do you believe House Wolffort should conduct itself going forward? Could we not use continued trade with the Wolffort domains as a means to negotiate the Rosellan safety? A conflict with Aesfront is unavoidable, and the Holy State will need our might if they are to stand a chance against them. I would use that leverage to reach a compromise. Our might or our trade? I'm gonna say our trade. Well, Aesfront and Glenbrook, the Holy City has no one left to trade with, except us. The Archduke's intention may yet be a mystery, but one thing's certain, Hyacinthe has suffered a devastating loss of salt taxes in the process. The Holy City needs us there to survive. We may indeed be able to negotiate if we use that fact to our advantage.
I am decided.
In any case, tensions between the two nations are rising and fast. We must be prudent in our actions. He has been moved. There we go. I feel like... Are we gonna get another unanimous vote? And I like to see that we're not necessarily not going there. It's just we're using it as a negotiation point, as a bargaining tool.
We face a difficult decision. Do we surrender the Roselle living in our domain to Hyacinthe? Or do we defy their orders? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You make a convincing argument, my lord.
I agree wholeheartedly.
There we go.
You have my vote.
I think Huet was the one deep in thought. Or no, I think it was Gila. There we go. Unanimous vote again. I'm good at this. I think today I was watching Roger's VOD and he was spending like an hour trying to do a voting. I've been doing them all first try. Right? No. How? I'm so... Yeah, like this. Kind of hard to tell because it's reverse. Unanimous vote. There we go.
The way forward is decided. The Roselle are our people. We must shelter them even if it earns us Hyacinthe's ire. I suspected it would come to this. We have chosen our path, and now we must see it through. We will refuse to hand over the Roselle to Hyacinthe.
Serenoa and company move to protect the Rosellan settlement. Noble as it may be, such an act of defiance toward Hyacinthe risks inviting the destruction of House Wolffort itself.
I mean, with Aesfront doing the way things are, like, one way or another, we would have to risk it.
Hyacinthe will no doubt wish to ask questions of us. We can draw out the negotiations and buy some time.
Time enough to find a way to break them.
We have to inform the Roselle of the situation here.
Fair.
I'll send an envoy and have them sheltered in Castle Wolffort.
Lord Serenoa, come at once. An army marches on the Rosellan village.
Oh, Hyacinthe is doing it by force?
We know not.
And it matters not. We ride to their aid. Prepare for battle.
Hyacinth's coming to take them by force? Wait, oh, I see, Rufus, and that's what the saintly guy sent the girls to talk to Silvio.
Over my dead body.
Using an outsider to help them out. But he's using Hyzant soldiers. Byzantine soldiers. What recommended level is this going to be? 18. Oh, let's just... Idor. Yeah, Idor is using outsider to force the Rosalians. Idor, let's just see this. Idor has a private talk with someone in the Hierophant's palace.
Did Silvio accept our offer?
Indeed he did. One glimpse of the reward set him on his way to the Wolffort domain.
Then all is in order.
Care to wager how House Wolffort will respond?
Why bother? If they comply, we make use of them. If they resist, we crush them. Either way, we endure.
You crush them. Like Avlora from Aesfront crushed us? Yeah. There's a reason why we were the might of Glenbrook. But okay. This is where we're gonna stop for the day. We have a lot of peeps to train up. Like, this recommend level 18. And a 17. We have 3 people 16. 3 people 15. 5 people 14. 1 13. And 5 12s. Yeah, we are so under level for this. Not sure how much time I'll have over the weekend, but I'll try to play something by... Because next Triangle Treasure stream is gonna be on Monday. So I'm gonna try to train them up by then, but no promise, because there's all the YouTube stuff that I have to record and edit. And I normally try to do that on the weekend. Sometimes they like some parts end up during the week, but yeah. So with that being said, see you next time. Good night.